please do like it at any time that you enjoy the video. So, in between jobs, like I am right now, I start my new job on the 8th of next month coming up. But in between now and then, I'm gonna just try to kind of make money off live streaming if I can, and show you guys what I've been tuning into, the world around me. Um, we're just gonna get right into it. I haven't even seen this yet, but 3 days ago, a guy caught over 1 million views. Ben Jordan breaking the creepy AI in police cameras. I have not seen this yet.
American, you've been probably seeing a whole bunch of these things.
I have not seen this yet, y'all.
That you don't even notice them.
Have you guys seen this yet? It just came out 3 days ago.
And you probably correctly assume that they're recording traffic. They're also recording and
Boosa, shout out Boosa, Dalton Gray. Thank you guys so much.
In fact, not owned by your local police department or your local government, but are licensed
The higher.
startup. And all of your
You're at work? Hell yeah.
being tracked by a third-party data broker. And what if I also told you that major retail chains are also using them, and they're combining your vehicle's whereabouts with your personal information, your shopping habits, and even your in-store behavior? And some
what?
are giving that information to law enforcement. And what if I told you that I just possibly may have come up with a way to break it?
Yo, this is some interesting shit. You guys, I have not seen this video yet. I seen it pop up on my phone as a suggestion, so I decided to throw it up on the screen, and I'm showing like everybody, like my first raw real look into it too. Kind of inspired from Emma. I'm doing a reaction video too, like many other YouTubers do.
Shopping center in a stolen vehicle, and they would have gotten away with it without cutting-edge technology alerting police of their crime.
Nah, that was actually an OCR error.
Well, this New Mexico woman and her 12-year-old sister were driving to the park with a stolen license plate when AI-enhanced technology allowed police to...
That one was another computer vision error.
Well, yet another car-thieving woman of color caught red-handed.
Nope, just a glitch. This situation keeps happening all over the country. Your tax dollars pay startups to rent AI superpowers to law enforcement.
I don't really know a whole lot about the AI world, y'all, but
Lawsuit settlements.
I know this is a different podcast from normal. I don't usually do these type of streams, but
Safety is a startup that was
giving it a shot.
2017 that specializes in developing and leasing security cameras that have AI capabilities such as license plate recognition and vehicle identification. And these security cameras feed into databases that law enforcement, private companies, and even private citizens can access and utilize.
I'm not surprised.
If you own a car in the United States, you have unquestionably been logged within one of these databases. It works like this. You drive past a flock safety camera and it records an image or video. An image segmentation model or something similar looks for the license plate itself, or a rectangle with some key identifiers like tail lights or a rear window. Once it is confident enough that it found a license plate, it sends a portion of the image to an OCR model, or optical character recognition, which is probably the most widely used type of AI for consumers. For example, it's used in PDFs or any type of automatic...
I know this is really nerdy shit. A lot of people aren't going to be interested.
...phone with your bank's app. AI like this typically uses a confidence level threshold. So if the OCR model is above, say, 90% sure that your license plate was...
True, Nick Davis, true.
...then the information is saved with a location and timestamp on it. It can also classify the make and model of your vehicle and note if there are any bumper stickers. Or
This guy caught 1 million views in 3 days.
This information as
Pretty
well
good.
gets stored to that database. A law enforcement officer can then run your license plate and see every single time that your vehicle has been tagged in the database. So if you're in a city that has a lot of these cameras, it pretty much has the same
Jordan.
effect
If anyone's
as secretly
interested,
sticking
Ben
a GPS
Jordan.
device on your car. Flock Safety is also happy to provide service to businesses and homeowners associations, and those private clients often allow law enforcement to access the data from their cameras. Then there's the hot list. If law enforcement puts you on the hot list, they are notified every single time that Flock detects you. So it's kind of like having a police tail all day, every day, but without the pesky annoyances of requiring a judicial warrant to target and track a citizen who may not even be suspected of any sort of crime. So now you might be asking, what is there to stop, I don't know, Texas law enforcement tracking women out of state who are suspected of getting illegal abortions? Or how would you prevent a jealous, abusive person who also happens to be a law enforcement officer from using the system to constantly track his ex-girlfriend and her new partner? Well, unfortunately, you wouldn't prevent it, because these are just two of the many examples of things that have actually already happened. Flock Safety
Oh my God. That's not good. Not to use the good Lord's name in vain, but that's not good.
For example, they installed nearly 100 cameras on public roadways without even notifying the county. And this entire industry sales pitches police departments with their cherry-picked
You guys
success
hearing this?
stories. If we didn't live in a surveillance state, this old lady with dementia would have never been found. Or if it weren't for all these cameras, this homicide suspect would have never been taken off the streets and would still be murdering people right now. Had this license plate reader error not led to a mother
This guy is funny.
held at gunpoint, that family would have never received a $1.9 million settlement from Aurora, Colorado taxpayers. Weirdly, I couldn't find that example in any of their sales decks. From every single agreement that I've looked up and seen, the police department or local government...
No, Texas cops are seeking women who aborted even though they are murderers.
Usually this is between $2,000 and $3,000 per camera per year, but apparently there's been a recent price hike that has strained the budgets of some police departments. In all of these agreements, Flock Safety's liability policy is extremely tight and protects them against virtually all claims should something go wrong or an equipment or data error mislead an investigation. And one of the most amusing parts of this agreement is this section that is telling...
You know, it's not going to be good if AI, you know, I don't really know if I really support, like, AI starts granting authorities access without warrants. I don't know. That's warrants are kind of a way to protect people too.
At no given time are you allowed to decompile, disassemble, reverse engineer, modify, alter, tamper with, or even repair any of it. Later in this video, I'll be disassembling and somewhat reverse engineering some ALPR cameras, but not Flock. If I did have access to some of Flock's hardware sitting in a box right over there, my attorney advises me that showing you any of it would jeopardize the existence of this video as a whole. A big reason for this aggressive scaling is because the business model of companies like this is actually quite brilliant. They market themselves as public safety services licensing cutting-edge technology, but license plate readers and security cameras have existed for decades. Flock Safety and their competitors are data brokers. A city, police department, business, or homeowners association pays to borrow their cameras, and then they retain the right to make some of that data accessible behind these same licensing paywall schemes.
I should have titled the stream "Knowledge is Power."
Who is the VC of choice for data brokers and big data startups like Databricks, Fivetrans, Scale AI, and Golden, just to name a few. They've invested nearly $500 million into Flock Safety, adding another $275 million just a few months ago. These are data broker numbers. For example, ADT, the largest and most recognizable home...
I'm doing okay. I'm just trying to show you guys things happening today around you. I know this is a
net market cap is eclipsed by Flock Safety's recent F-Series
very boring video.
$8 billion. And it needs to be
only retirees are going to tune in, I feel like.
Horowitz have spent a combined $92,680,000 in lobbying, and the vast majority of that lobbying was in the last year. Maybe you are a law enforcement officer and Flock Safety...
Oh, DB Matana, thank you.
Or maybe you think that a poorly substantiated claim about a drop in crime is worth the constant monitoring and tracking of hundreds of millions of tax-paying citizens who are not criminals. And those small little glitches that result in...
It is kind of a boring video, I ain't gonna lie, but it's also very important.
Just some cracked eggs in the overall omelet that society is trying to make. And if you agree with me, that's your perspective.
I got a list. I'm stepping outside right now to smoke, but I got a list of different videos I'm gonna show you guys. A little list. Won't be too long of a stream, but I don't know. I've had a lot of people ask me for like what do I do and stuff like in between streams and stuff. So I'm just kind of bringing you guys along, showing you guys stuff that I watch, stuff I tune into. But after this, there's some, I got a list of videos I'm gonna show you guys. So just stay tuned if you're interested. Different categories, different things going on. Thank you so much for everyone tuning in. Really appreciate it. Thank you for the 5 likes. We're gonna jump in on the guy's video here in a second. Taking a hit real quick.
Pinterest under a mostly anonymized account is being stored and analyzed and sold. But it becomes a very big deal when it's combined with other data and stops being so anonymous. And when your health questionnaire information on BetterHelp was sold to Facebook, where you posted a bunch of photos from bars 10 years ago, and then all of that gets bundled by a data broker with your tracked and logged bad driving habits that your vehicle manufacturer sold. Yeah, that's funny too. Guess what? All of this may explain the reason your car insurance costs twice as much as anybody else in your age demographic, or it may explain why you can't seem to get a good interest rate.
Knowledge is power. Pay attention.
Especially in 2025, where something you may have posted a decade ago will get you arrested and deported. My point is, data privacy never really seems like a big deal until it is.
This is some conspiracy? No, this is some real. This is how the world works.
Caught, the fine or settlement.
It's what history books won't teach you.
Of the income generated from buying and selling your third-party data. If a large retailer or fast food chain is not using Flock Safety, then they're probably using some other type of automated license plate reader. Once you walk in those doors, oh my God! Let's just use.
I've never seen this guy before ever. This is the first time I've ever watched.
Personal identifiers: your name, your phone number, your address, your email, your driver's license number, your signature. Device identifiers such as your phone or smartwatch's MAC address. They're sussing out your age, gender, citizenship, race, marital status, household income, education, unemployment information, family health, number of children, credit card numbers, and other payment information. Geolocation history, photographs, audio recordings, video recordings, and, if known, background checks and criminal convictions. Oh, hang on, I haven't even gotten to the creepy part yet. Inferences, aka your behavior and preferences from your shopping patterns, intelligence, and aptitude. And they reserve the right to share any and all of this with third parties, including but not limited to, you guessed it. It's been reported that police departments have been running queries and sharing Flock Safety's data with ICE. Some Home Depot and Lowe's locations are also Flock Safety customers, and they have also been known to share Flock Safety's data with law enforcement. It might be safe to assume that some of the immigration raids happening at Home Depot and Lowe's locations may be connected to this honeypot of data. So when an immigrant picks up some construction supplies before
please like the stream. If you haven't yet liked the stream, please like the stream.
Data to Flock Safety.
Consider subscribing.
On the hot list, and just like that, masked men arrive and pick up a Venezuelan day laborer with no criminal record and ship them off to a prison camp in El Salvador. Like, why?
I'm not.
Y'all just
is it by a leftist?
So we have these
okay, I'm not sure, bro. Like I said, this is the first time I've ever watched this video. I've never seen it before.
Every move for police, retailers, and even gated communities. Then we have retailers building advanced personal and psychological profiles about us, which are then being traded to data brokers and combined with our internet shopping, browsing, and social media activity. And now, law enforcement data brokers are buying it all up. Here's a hard truth that we all need to know and consider. If every single actor in this database brokerage theater were playing by the rules and following every single law and acting ethically, your data is still only as safe as the database with the weakest security policies or that one employee that falls for the phishing email. In 2024 alone, if we are only counting data breaches formally reported.
Hello, Lorraine. Thank you for tuning in. Please remember to like the stream. Thank you for tuning in.
Billion compromised records. But fear not, our legislators are coming to our rescue by banning TikTok. Did I hear that right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. They're not banning TikTok.
Standing on the burnt remains of a home and debating what kind of.
It makes too much money. Anything that makes too much money is not going to get banned, bro. It makes too much money.
To the data mining that your tax dollars pay for. And we're going to see just how insecure it is. And we're going to try to come up with some ways to defend ourselves from it.
I'm having a good day. Hope you're having a good day too. I'm just trying to cue you in to the world around y'all. Since I'm in between jobs right now, a lot of you all asked me, put this down real quick. Hold on. A lot of you asked me, what do I do like when I'm not streaming and stuff? And I keep telling you, I watch other content. I'm just kind of bringing you into things that I watch. And, I've never done this before. And, I've kind of got inspired off other channels to do some reaction. And I've never really wanted to do one, but I'm like, I'm going to be a little more open-minded than my typical self and do a reaction video or live stream to videos for the first time ever. I don't know. Just something to do until I start my real job on the 8th next month, y'all. That's all this is. These ads, though, these pesky ads. They won't let me skip. I want you. You want what? Christina's okay. Thanks for asking. Where is she? She's okay. She's okay.
In this chapter, we'll be technically going over how ALPR cameras work.
Cool stuff. I'll support you, bro. Thank you. Please like the stream. We got 29 people tuned in right now. Please like the stream. Consider subscribing.
And without breaking off into a completely separate tangent, security is not Bluetooth's strength. To Fox Security's credit, from what I could tell, all the Bluetooth seems to be doing is relaying hardware and status information about the camera and transmission system. The camera system also has a Wi-Fi radio that acts as a router with WPA2 encryption, which a lot of consumer products still use despite it being a 20-year-old technology with a lot of flaws. One of those biggest vulnerabilities is the handshake. If you were to try to guess the passcode on an iPhone,
Not after Texas level out. Why are we talking about immigration security and yeah, we're doing something different on the stream. Doing something different on the channel.
With WPA2 Wi-Fi, there's a pre-shared password key.
I've had a lot of people ask me what do I do in between, like when I'm just regularly like live streaming. Like people ask me, what do you do when you're not live streaming, bro? I'm just trying to show you guys this is what I do. I just pay attention to the world around me.
And an attacker can capture the handshake on their own device so they can sick their GPU on it. And if everything's updated and working properly and there are no other security vulnerabilities,
where are you in special? Was I in special ed? Oh yeah, I was. I wasn't. I was in regular ed too. I went to a school that was like it was so short funded, you know. That they didn't technically have special ed, so I had to do regular ed. So but yeah, when I went to schools that offered it, I've done both. I've had to do both.
The password dictionary, I'd give it about 60 seconds. With some other vendors and services, you don't actually have to crack anything.
T.A. Morgan? You knew it? Cool. What's that got to do with anything?
In just a few hours, with some specialized search engines, I managed to browse my way into accessing live feeds from over 24
cool.
cameras.
Hell yeah! Stand up!
That in a couple small towns that I audited, if one camera wasn't
little killer,
none of them were, allowing anyone
pay attention,
every single vehicle in the town indefinitely without ever having to see or write a line of code. Another troubling example, Hikvision, the largest IP camera company in the world. They make all types of cameras, many of which have ALPR technology and are marketed towards police departments. In 2022, hackers were able to not only view the feed, but exploit the firmware used in over 80,000 cameras, allowing them to execute code remotely.
I'll school you quick.
Just last year, the Russian military compromised Hikvision cameras in Ukraine to obtain...
Why does everybody want to teach? No one wants to be taught.
...and subvert Ukraine's air defense systems. In fact, right now, at the time of me recording this video...
You got 2 ears, 1 mouth, so you listen more than you talk.
View the feed, retrieve snapshots, and extract user credentials. Then you have Verkada, a massive security camera company whose chairman has bragged about locking clients into a predatory subscription model.
Hey, what's going on? And break at work, what's up? We're just live streaming like current news around us, what's going on. That's all that's going on. This live stream between me starting my next job next month and the 8th, and I'm just streaming, showing you guys what's going on around us. That's all we're doing here.
Now, license, you might have bought a 1-year license, but you literally...
Thank you for tuning in. Please remember to like the stream. Consider subscribing if you're new.
Many of their clients in healthcare, prisons, police departments, and so on couldn't afford to leave for a more secure ecosystem. So when every single one of their 150,000 plus cameras were hacked due to a corporate administrator account having their username and password publicly exposed on the internet, hackers not only had access to the private video feeds, but the networks that they were connected to.
And they were also able to access the archive of those cameras as well, the clips that had been saved by those customers.
You see that? Oh, I missed it.
Completely
oh wow.
Obsessed about something technical. It's to tell me that I'm not allowed to learn about it. And few industries are cagier about technical analysis or pen testing than the security camera industry. One would assume that it's because they do not want the general public.
I gotta get out of this video. I'm way too bored of it, to be honest with you. I don't know. I expected a different direction with that. The next one I'm gonna show you guys is a CIA video that just came out recently. I watched this one. I admit it. I already watched this one, but it's a good video, and I want to show you guys it, regardless. Yeah. I love the CIA. If you're not interested in that, this is probably the time for you to tune out. But this video was done with a former CIA agent. He's been on YouTube a lot in recent times. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Oh, it's former CIA. Gotta clear that out. This is such an awkward way to stream. Okay, so former. This is gonna take a minute. Typing everything on the TV. CIA. There we go. I knew that would come up like that. All right, y'all see this one? I'm gonna turn the camera around. This is what we're about to watch. CIA spy couple. The CIA tried to ban this story. This is a really good one, y'all. It's a 2.5 hour video. We're not gonna watch that much of it, but I'll show you guys.
Hits the airwaves, it's going to transform people's opinion about CIA and the depths to which CIA will dive to collect intelligence that protects us to a foreign actor. My wife and I were included in an operation to bait the mole, to make a mistake so that the mole could be found and disclosed.
Your wife is here today, and you've never told this story before, have you?
No. And your curiosity right now is a major issue with CIA because they don't want the world to know who those people are. It's a dangerous game.
Well, obviously my research team tried to figure out who it was. So was
This is a really good video. If you want to just watch it on your own screen, I would advise that. That's what I'd personally prefer to. But if you don't mind this way, cool.
Greatest intelligence operations in modern history. Their untold story shows you how to build trust, manipulate, and thrive under.
Hello. Thank you for tuning in. Please like and subscribe.
Contacted CIA and said you have somebody inside your organization sharing information on operations, officers, assets to an enemy country. They deployed
This is a really, really good video. If you haven't
crafted
seen
new
it.
identities, new aliases, so that we could build new sources of intelligence and try to find them.
And we were really successful in doing that.
Nobody felt like they were in imminent danger, but then that changed. My presence in the enemy country became known. I called G and said, "That's going to be everything."
And from that, I knew that something was wrong. It is very
You need to
real.
get welding, brother. Make that money.
By a foreign adversary.
Yeah, I don't know how to weld, brother.
Being captured. And the president can plausibly deny that you're CIA. So I had to try to escape the country. But everything went wrong.
And what happens next?
A horrible story. So
Access denied.
This is the first time I'm setting you at home a challenge when you listen to this episode. Can you figure out which country...
I've been watching this guy for a minute. He's pretty good, too.
...undercovering as spies from what they say. But also, our team here have figured out that the mole in the CIA was one of these three people. Can you figure out from what they say which person was the mole? It might make sense for you at this moment to screenshot these three faces and the details below so you can remember their profiles. And by the end of the conversation, I want you to comment below which country you thought Andrew was undercovering as a spy.
Told me once I graduated through trade, they would move my family and me out. Cool, Curtis, cool.
Let's do this. Listen, to my regular listeners,
British
I know
accent?
you don't like it when I ask
Cool.
you to subscribe at the start of this conversation. I don't like saying it, I don't like it being in there, none of us like it. It's frustrating. Do you know what's also frustrating? It's also frustrating when I go into the back end of a YouTube channel and I see that 56% of you that listen frequently to this podcast haven't yet subscribed. And so many
I
people
deal
don't
with
know
this
how to
too,
subscribe
bro.
because I see in the comments
You
that
guys just don't
56%
subscribe.
realize I didn't subscribe. And
Why
that's
don't you
actually
guys
so
just subscribe if you're gonna watch anyway?
So that's why I ask all
Just subscribe, like he just said, please.
And we're going for the long term here. So all
Yeah,
I ask
for the
is
long
if you
term.
listen When you like it, help me, help my team here, hit the subscribe button, and we'll continue to build this show for you. That's my promise. Thank you to all of you guys that do subscribe, it means the world to me. Let's get on with the show. Andrew, you've
CIA
never told
spy, former
this story
CIA.
before, have you?
no, I have never told the story of my own operational background. It's been something that CIA has forbidden for a long time.
And what's written in this book has taken you a long time to get approved by the CIA.
Oh, you electrician too? Right on, Boosa, right on.
Sign a lifetime secrecy agreement, and that secrecy agreement gives CIA the right to
Alexandria,
approve or disapprove
the
any
video.
operational
Thank you for asking, Alexandria. Here's the video. It's called CIA spy tried to ban the CIA tried to ban this story. CIA spy couple. The CIA tried to ban this story. It's on the channel is The Diary of a CEO. That'll probably make it a hell of a lot easier. The Diary of a CEO. That's the YouTube channel. So check that video out. Really good video.
Our background that are still classified and that fit under this very kind of narrow rubric of sources and methods of active intelligence collection. Because of my time at CIA, my work at CIA, and the sensitivity of that work, I just kind of assumed I would never be able to talk about it. And then all that changed with the first Trump administration.
What was the CIA's response when you said...
My buddy does it. Clears $400,000 a year under 100
Epic
epic taxes.
Two different responses. When I first
Right on,
submitted
Busa.
the request in 2019 to CIA to write about my operational background.
Come on, try. What's going on?
Some normal bureaucratic back and forth, and they ultimately said, yes, you can write about it in detail. And then in 2021, when we submitted the manuscript and it was complete, the world started.
This channel is mostly about rehabilitation and recovery, but I've said a lot in the past, and I feel like a lot of people overlook this part. Is I don't want to get stuck in any one said niche. So, like I'm just doing a reaction video right now. This is about Christina or I. This is just about what's going on around us. That's what this live stream is about.
Change. In 2022, multiple major issues erupted between major adversaries of the United States, and CIA came back and removed their previous.
Hello, Anthony. Thank you for tuning in. Please remember,
in light of current geopolitics,
to like the stream.
Was now reclassified.
How did you get the CIA to change their mind so that you could release this book and talk about what you're going to talk about today?
We engaged with an attorney, one of the top attorneys in the space of classified information and publishing information. So the attorney believed that because of the effort that my wife and I put into the book, CIA would back off. And ultimately, that is what they did. When we threatened them with a First Amendment lawsuit, they came back and said, we don't want to go down that road.
That's
We
crazy.
think we can collaborate on this. We'll approve your book, and you can move forward.
Why do you think they didn't want you to publish this book and the story to get out?
When this story hits the airwaves, it's going to transform people's opinion about CIA in two big ways. First, they'll understand that CIA is not what the movies portray it to be. It's not super.
Thank you for the 20 likes. Thank you so much.
James Bond,
Thank you.
Jason Bourne, who are one man against the world. That's not how espionage works. Espionage is a team sport. You have wins, you have losses. The second thing is they'll start to understand the depths to which CIA will dive to collect intelligence that protects Americans. Inside this book, we talk about a mole that actually penetrated CIA that CIA has never acknowledged. Inside this book, we talk about new tactics that CIA.
I want to get this book. I want to get his book. I want his book. I want it. I'm broke, but I want his book. When I get money, I'm getting his book.
CIA is morally ambivalent to how it executes espionage operations. The goal is to keep Americans safe.
When you say in this book, you disclose that there was a mole within the CIA, what does that mean for someone that doesn't know what a mole in the CIA is?
One of the worst things that can happen to an intelligence service is that one of its own officers becomes a spy.
Like I should
for a
apply
foreign
to the
actor.
CIA,
That
right?
is what I'm referring to when I talk about a mole.
And you were involved in that operation to find the mole within the CIA.
Correct. More specifically, my wife and I were included in an operation to kind of ferret out the mole, to bait and tempt the mole to make a mistake so that the mole could be found and disclosed.
And your wife is
Trying to
here
play a
today,
sly
correct?
game.
And we're going to bring her in and talk to her as well. But for anyone that doesn't know your backstory, which would be pretty remarkable seeing as you've been on this channel now a few times, could you give me a whistle-stop tour of your professional background up until the point that you met Gigi?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm from a rural place in Pennsylvania. Was like the only brown kid in a white high school. But I ended up going to a military academy. I went to the Air Force Academy. From the Air Force Academy, I go into the Air Force. The Air Force teaches me how to fly. They teach me a foreign language, and then they teach me about nuclear weapons.
That's
and
cool
nuclear
shit.
missiles, and I serve as a nuclear missile officer in the Air Force. So CIA picked me up, and in my first day on the job in CIA, that's the day that I met my wife. She was sitting in the back of the classroom. I, of course, worked my way to the front of the classroom, and from there, our training just kind of overlapped, and we became close.
Well,
Thank you for the
Jamie is here, so I'd
23
like to
likes.
go
Thank you.
first.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Was there any inconsistency in the story you told? What was your perspective? There's always another perspective. Are you allowed to date in the CIA?
Oh yeah, it's encouraged because it's really hard when you're
It's encouraged to date in the
keeping so many
CIA.
secrets to date
Most,
somebody
a
else
lot of
because
companies
they
like
may not be able to
don't
tell you
date
if
because it becomes a conflict of interest. So we don't advise couples. And the CIA is like, no, we advise that because you have to have so many secrets. You need someone to confide in. That's very interesting concept. Christina we would have fun if we worked with you. I'm just saying, but we'll never be able to do that because we're YouTubers, and I'd rather just be a YouTuber. I don't know. It would be cool work though. It would be super
So you're
cool to
lying
do
to them
that.
about where you're going and what you do
Day to day.
day to day, every single day. So you're building a relationship.
Hello, Emily. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you.
And
Welcome.
it's really difficult. So if you date within the CIA, you know, if you're in different divisions or whatever, like maybe you can't talk about everything in detail, but you at least know
I do need to shave. I know.
what's going on. You know why somebody's going TDY or where they're going for a training session or
We can explain to each other, like, hey, I'm gonna go work with the Spanish, I'm gonna go work with the Canadians. But when you're dating
Emily, my day is
outside,
good. I'm
you
just
can't say those things. So it becomes, I'm going on a business meeting.
honestly, I'm just like very interested in like what's going on around me or how the world works. So I'm just watching these videos and bringing you guys along with me because I get asked a lot. What do I do when I'm not streaming stuff? I'm just showing you guys a vague look into the kind of content that I tune into.
I'm going on a trip.
Crazy.
And we've had many friends who have had relationships explode or melt down because
It's Friday, right?
ask very logical questions. We have
The
one
guy is a
good
fruit
friend of
pretending
ours
to be a
who was an
badass.
outsider who was dating one of our good friends who was an insider.
Why? Because I'm doing a reaction video? How badass is that perceived? I didn't know reaction videos were badass. Bro, quit. Just quit.
And she pulled me aside one day and she was like, you know, he goes on all these business trips, but he never takes any suits. She's like, I think he's cheating on me. And I was like, no, he's actually going to a tactical training course where you don't need to.
This
wear anything
dude
except
is
bikinis,
badass.
But I can see your concerns. So you have to walk there's a lot of walking people off a cliff because they start to come to the wrong conclusion about what their actual
There's nothing answering me. He
What's your
chills.
journey into the CIA?
Jesus,
Mine
Rodriguez.
was an unexpected journey because I went into social work working with survivors of torture from other countries, with refugees, with asylees. But before I got that job, I'd spent my entire last year of grad school going to job fairs. And what I really wanted was to work for the federal government for like the larger mission for the United States, for like the people of the United States. But then nobody was calling me back. And I was like, okay, I'll just submit an application.
That's a familiar story.
Application to CIA, which I thought was funny.
That's how I feel. Nobody calls me back either.
Call back. She was like, this is the information session. So I went in like a random.
Saint Laura, thank you for tuning in. Please like the stream. Consider subscribing. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Welcome to the CIA recruiting session. And you're like, this is so bizarre. And
Did they tell you what your role is? Because I know there's several different roles in the CIA.
Targeters began during the War on Terror. And because what they initially did was target individuals for capture or kill from the military.
Okay, so what does that mean? They targeted people for capture or kill for the military. So you would find the person
For capture or kill
in a foreign country.
Yes. And so because, everybody else is doing their job of, logistics or weapons or fighting or strategy. So the targeter position was really important because it takes time to
it's nice.
go through all this data.
Parents' house
to
is nice,
piece together
yes.
this puzzle of who is important to capture, who's important to kill, and how do you get to them? The how do you get to them is the piece that like everybody else wants to know, but they don't really have time.
At DK, this is what Michael's up to.
Out this targeter role, so one person can do all this research and identify, and the terrorists.
I get asked a lot. What do I do? You guys, Michael isn't stuck on Michael all the time. 90% of my time, I'm thinking about everything everybody else is doing around the world. Like I'm the last person I'm thinking about is Michael.
and
For real.
to
Like,
find out
I'm not that
who's
self-centered.
who's connected to who.
This is
how
what
can
I
we
do.
get
I
to
tune in
what
to,
was
like,
your
I got a whole
idea?
list. I'm gonna show you right now.
Right away. So
Okay,
how
see this list?
right?
I was gonna show you guys. We're only on video 2.
Was to figure out who to capture and kill.
Or capture or.
Chinese shit. I just scribbled this down. I was trying to be really quick. That's my chicken scratch real quick. That's me chicken scratch. Just trying to be quick about it. But investigating, you guys see Tommy G's investigating the murder sheriff of Los Angeles. Did you guys see Tommy G's video? That was on the list. Stay tuned if you're interested in all this.
What's known as a field officer, an operations officer, a case officer. Those are the different terminologies that we use internally. But you essentially have every case is kind of handed over from person to person. So raw information, sometimes open source information, is handed to a targeter who creates a profile, a dossier, a targeting package, who hands it to an operations officer who goes out and actually makes that first contact. And then when first contact is made, we pass all the information back and it goes back to all the same people to build the next package for the next target.
So GE would identify the individual, and then your job was to fly overseas, go undercover, and make first contact.
You mean watch all those news channels? This is what I do. Yeah.
By the time that CIA started utilizing us as a tandem couple,
You're into world affairs as well? Cool.
CIA trained couple. When we started becoming a tandem couple, that's how we were a 1-2 punch for operations. Prior to that, we were in separate offices and separate divisions doing separate work. So we got along and we were complementary because I understood the challenges of her job and she understood the challenges of my job, which made both of us better working with our counterparts in our different offices.
So where does the story begin, Andy?
This is a very interesting story,
You
though.
wrote this book to tell a story. So I'm asking you the question. Usually I'd hazard a guess where to start. Where does this story begin?
You guys want to hear that?
The story really starts on I think it was a winter.
Too much propaganda for world affairs. Yeah, but it's important though.
That was a massive oak table. It was a senior executive leadership room, but there were only 3 people there. It was she, it was me, and it was the leader of what's known as Falcon House, which is this group of specialists inside of CIA focused on one particular adversary, an adversary that we've had to codename Falcon to maintain confidentiality with CIA.
And so Falcon is a country, basically.
Falcon is a country, correct. And that leader revealed to us that they believed there was a penetration, a mole, that was inside of Falcon House, inside of CIA, and that they needed us to agree to do an operation so that the mole will make a mistake here. Because if the mole makes a mistake here,
Pick up
we'll
the
find
house.
it.
Yeah, I know.
But we can't have you be here because if you're here, the mole will find you, and then we don't know what happens if the mole finds
Being
you. So we're
online.
going to send you across the world
Don't tell me what to
to
do.
go work in this other country, Falcon being the country, while we here as the experts in Washington, D.C. try to find the mole. And that was privileged information that neither of us as junior officers ever thought we would hear. And I think that, I know for me, I was kind of giddy with excitement, and GE was a little bit more apprehensive with, this can't be real. But that was, for me, that's where the story starts, is when these 2 people, her and with her anxiety disorder and me with my kind of lackluster CIA career.
I deal with
when we
anxiety
got
too
pulled into this
much of that
office
shit.
that was clearly outside of our league and invited to do this operation. Without that first
Comparison to Thief of Joy. Amen to that. Hey! Thank you, Daisy09 for the super chat. Appreciate you for the $1.17. Thank you. I did not expect that. Woo! Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Shout out Daisy09. Thank you so much, Daisy09. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Hey, I didn't expect that. $1 is $1. $1 is $1. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. I'll take it.
Right there.
Thank you, Auntie K. That is the correct cash. I appreciate you, Auntie K. You guys, I'm going to keep this video going, and I know most of you aren't going to be interested, and that's okay. I'm interested, and I just in case anybody's interested just as much as me, I want to keep it going for them. Thank you, Daisy09 for another $1. Thank you. That's 234. Shout out Daisy. Daisy09. Thank you, Daisy09. Hey, appreciate you. Video's back. Video's back.
Onwards, how long was it before you flew to the foreign country in question?
He's making money off of my ad revenue based on me replying to you guys. That's funny.
So I guess it's like a sub-objective to find the mole. And there was another main objective, which was going
Sub 234 on Super Chats. Woo! Thank you, Daisy.
There were primary objectives and secondary objectives. And the primary objective was to build a new set of reporting assets, a new source of intelligence, several new sources of intelligence in Falcon, the actual country. And to help you frame what Falcon is, there's only a handful of countries that are true stark adversaries to the United States. Every one of those countries has limited to no diplomatic relationship with the United States. That's how hostile they are. Any one of those countries could be Falcon. The reason that we have to code name the countries is because CIA in today's geopolitical world has demanded we don't disclose the name of the country. So we call it Falcon.
That just makes sense.
The United States adversaries, but we don't have any relationship with them. There's also North Korea, there's Russia.
Stacy, he won't rap for 100. You guys want me to rap? I'll try to rap.
Yeah,
if I get it coming through, I'll start rapping. I'm not trying to rap right now, though.
Versus countries we have no relationship with. So we have no relationship with North Korea.
Rap and you send 100?
Relationship with Russia.
What? All right, pause. Pause that. Pause that. Get back to that. For 100? I don't know. Kind of slow and kind of have to bust the flow out of somewhere though. So I'm gonna get in my lyrical boat and row. I don't know where I'm gonna go. Give me some words. Give me some words. Thank you, Daisy, for another $1. You want me to rap? I can't rap right now. I haven't been practicing. Like, I go through phases where I practice freestyling, and I just haven't been practicing. I haven't gone through my practice phase in a while, so I'm rusty. Not trusty. Don't come at me, bro. I can't do this right now. Oh, shit. All right. Michael Highlure, trying to take a detour because I can't rap. Might as well just take a nap. I'm out cold, not trying to fold. Lyrical killer with a lot of filler. I'm a time dealer, time waster. Oh, no. Overachiever. I don't know. But right now I'm the underdog. So does time matter? I don't know. I don't know what the fuck. Nice. No, it wasn't nice. I had something to do. That's why I'm there live streaming this shit, y'all. I'm trying to show you guys what's going on around me, but I can't rap. Like, I got some old ones that I've always memorized a long time ago that I don't even remember even half of it anymore. Like, yo, MC Highlure, I ain't trying to make it bigger than any public figure. I don't do this rap for the dime. It's just a really waste of my time. Line after line. I don't know why I try, why I pry, why I cry when I reach so hard. I'm just trying to milk it, lick it, squeeze it, hold it. I'm not trying to lose it. You only get one opportunity. That type of shit. Without trying to be too corny. Get a razor. My husband was talking about underwater welding. Sounds dangerous. Yeah, it's very dangerous and very expensive. Expensive, but it pays well. You know what I mean? Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Daisy09, for another $1 for 468. We're up 468. Thank you so much, Daisy09. Thank you for all the super chats. Appreciate you. I'm gonna get back to this video that I'm gonna have to start practicing. So when we start doing other types of streams that are more chill, maybe if you guys want, I'll just I'll practice in raw and show you guys the embarrassing struggle of trying to get your mind back on a freestyle. Like when you do it after like so many days, you like spend a week or two just freestyling random times throughout the day, you actually do not, you naturally start getting good at it. People think you might be talented. It's really just practice. It's just really just a lot of practice.
We have no relationship with Iran. So they're all considered hard targets, but of various levels.
Okay. So the primary objective is to build a new team in this country, but the sub-objective is in building the team, you're going to find out, hopefully, who the mole is, because the mole is going to make a mistake.
The mole's going to try to find us, because the mole's job is to prevent CIA from collecting secrets about Falcon, because the mole is working for Falcon intelligence.
The mole is working for that country.
Right.
The mole is part of the CIA, but working for the adversarial country.
Bingo, which is the worst combination you can have. So some of the most famous moles in history are Aldrich Ames. Aldrich Ames was a CIA penetration that worked for the Russians.
Never heard of it.
Robert Hansen. Robert Hansen was an FBI penetration that worked for the Russians. So these are famous moles in history. We were essentially being told that these earth-shattering 1990s era moles were still
wasn't
relevant,
even,
but now in 2010,
little baby.
There was a new one that had made its way into CIA, and that's a big deal. So it was a very exciting reveal for me, because it meant that we were not just doing something that was relevant and interesting inside of CIA. We're doing something that is
You want last dollar?
the
You're
most
good.
important work that can be done inside CIA at this moment in time.
How did the CIA know there was a mole?
There's a lot of complexity there that is
How did
part
the
of why they
CIA
didn't
know
want us to write this book.
there's a mole?
But what they have allowed us to disclose is that a foreign ally contacted CIA and said, we have collected intelligence that suggests you have a mole. You have somebody inside your organization who's a turncoat, a spy for somebody else. So a foreign ally warned CIA. Otherwise, CIA would have had no idea.
Okay, and foreign allies are people like the United Kingdom,
Canada,
Australia.
So you can imagine the disruption that would make. Not only did CIA proper not know they had a mole, it took an ally to tell us. And then when the ally told us, we have to assume that the ally is sharing as much biographical detail as possible. So they're telling you the name. Hey, Bob is a spy in your organization. But now that
Mr. Highlure, do you know
protected by American
what? No, I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, thank you, Promatic. Do a rep out cleaning the house.
Except for the word of some foreign ally, which is still.
Man, right now I'm trying to be quiet like a mouse, not trying to clean the house. You know, bro. But if you want, when Christina's around, I'll put her in a blouse and she can clean the house. Okay, there you go. There's your $2 wrap.
In the eyes of the U.S. government, a foreigner is a foreigner, ally or not. So even if it is the UK or the Canadians telling us so-and-so is a spy, until we have our own body of evidence, we can't prosecute. That person can't be fired, that person can't be discharged, that person can't be sued, that person can't be arrested. So now CIA has this mess where they are actively losing information, actively losing intel.
Because of this mole.
I know I brought Christina up, but I'm not talking about that right now.
Because they have to now build a legal case against the mole to prove that that person's actually breaking the law.
So the ally that calls the CIA and says you've got a mole in your ranks, they named the person.
Most likely they would have never made the notification without also sharing the name, which is a courtesy we do to others as well.
I'm just gonna start a pipeline, then go underwater. Once I master my craft, do that for 5 years, retire and open a sandwich shop, basic soda, sandwich shop, no extra chips, nothings.
And did you
Okay,
share
Curtis.
the name? When you were called into the room that day, did they share the name with you?
Christina's okay?
It's hard for people to
Not
wrap their
talking about
minds around
Christina
the
right
culture
now,
of
no
CIA.
offense.
And I get it, because how do you wrap your mind around an organization you don't know? and the only insight is from movies.
That is awesome, Curtis.
So culturally,
Thank you, Promac, for the $2 super chat. They were about Emma. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not trash talking Emma for $2.
Outside, but inside CIA, you need to know it's very, very, very real, and you are only briefed to the minimum that you need to know. So inside of this tiny group of spy hunters, which is known as the
Thank you, Daisy, for another $1.
Group, CEG. Inside this very small group, they have the need to know basically everything. And then as you go out in rings from that group, they reduce the information they share. So they might know the name, but then when they share it to the next ring, they just say, hey,
need
there's
to know
an officer who's in this office. And then it goes to the next ring, there's an officer in this division, and it goes to the next ring. So the people talking to us as senior leaders, the people talking to us knew the minimum we needed to know was that we were going to build new operations, but we were also going to be most likely targeted by a known threat inside CIA. That was why it mattered to us. Interestingly, that decision is why we had a First Amendment case with this book at all, because CIA was knowingly putting our lives in danger of a foreign adversary by intentionally creating operations that would tempt that mole to disclose our identities.
That was one of the things I was
CIA played dirty.
You knew that you were being sent
They
to
play a little dirty.
adversarial country, and you also had the knowledge that working amongst
Why are you trying to watch these outdated ass videos? They're not, bro. Bro, they're not outdated, bro. What are you talking about?
Foreign country.
Bro, if you don't know, bro. If you don't know, bro. If you don't know. Look, bro, look. This is 1 day ago, bro. YouTube channel is The Diary of a CEO. Go check them out. Just came out a day ago. It's fire. Fire video.
Could have could have killed you.
Absolutely. And that's the second kind of cultural element that people don't understand about CIA. You don't really turn down an operation. If you're invited to take part in an operation,
Listen.
you have the right to say no.
Listen.
But if you say no, you're committing career suicide. Jihi, and anybody who reads the book will find this out, Jihi was
Beat 46, thank you. Hello.
on a phenomenal
Please
trajectory,
like.
doing incredible things.
Please like the stream.
Really charting the course for what targeters have become today. For me, I proved to be a not very good case officer. And if there was anything I was really hoping for, it was
Thank
a
you for
second
the
chance.
30 likes. Thank you
when
so much.
We were pulled into this meeting and they said, hey, here's this exciting opportunity. Here's an operation that we're literally inviting you to this executive suite.
Thank you, Promac, for another $2 super chat. That's $4 now, Michael. Make it a good rap about
That's
MS6.
not a situation that I was going to say.
No. Come
I
on
think
now.
you considered saying no.
No. Make it a good rap about it. You know what? My raps. Right. I'm sorry. Right.
For me, it was a.
I don't really
they
want to
knew
do that
me well
though.
enough to know I was not going to turn that down.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you have anxiety, you consider saying no to everything. You're always thinking about the risk, but I think that
What was the risk that you were thinking about?
it is very real that you can be disappeared by a foreign adversary, that you can be, killed by them with no explanation, that you can be just put in jail and then you never get out.
You about to lose the super chat fight or not? No, Daisy. I think 09. You sent the most.
It might be 20
You won the
years
super
before
chat
you're
fight.
out of prison.
Every sworn officer has plausible deniability, meaning the president can plausibly deny that you don't belong to whatever organization you are claiming to belong to. So a CIA officer arrested in a Russian prison can avoid all questioning and say, hold on guys, I'm actually CIA, you caught me, good job, now please send me home, don't have a diplomatic incident. The president has the right to say that person is not CIA.
Yeah.
That person has never worked for me, I don't know who that person is. That their American passport might be verified, but they are legally in your possession of legal requirements. So we don't really know who they are.
So just to clarify then, you
That's
were being told you
undoubtedly what he just said.
to a foreign country.
The fact that a president of your country can deny you that you're a spy, you know what I mean? and that they will, because obviously they wouldn't want another country knowing that they sent a spy that just got captured, right? That's the most scariest. Like that part is the hands down, the most terrifying thought about joining the CIA is the fact that your country they might deny that they know of you. You know what I mean?
An
As a
adversarial foreign
spy.
country, and you were told that there was a mole amongst your ranks that was feeding information to the foreign country that you were being flown to.
So they actually stationed us in a neighboring country that was friendly, but we knew that Andy and anybody we worked with would have to go into Falcon. So they flew us over.
Falcon being the adversarial
Yeah,
country.
the adversarial country. So we actually lived in a third country called Wolf, but we were operating in both Wolf and in Falcon. So the danger was still there.
And then that's when Gigi's targeter mind set in. And that's when she started thinking through, well, how could our operation be reverse engineered by Falcon and actually find us? And if we can think like the enemy, we can stay one step ahead of the enemy. So the whole idea of going to Wolf and building our team from the very beginning, Gigi started to architect how we could do that in a way that would foil our aggressors from being able to even discover our existence.
And what was the objective so you've got this sub-objective,
Yeah.
which I understand, which is to find the mole. But the main objective is just to spy as usual and collect information on this
crazy.
adversarial country.
It's all a game of
The
deception.
main objective was to collect
It's
information.
basically what it is.
But the spying as usual is the part that was a no. CIA specifically told us
Big
they didn't
game
want
of
us to do
deception. This remote
the
don't work. Right?
standard spy MO. Spying has really been the same since
Click. Oh, now it works. Wow. Yeah, it's a big game of deception. You know, that's all. Like, if you're good at manipulation, or you're good at deception, you might think about joining the CIA.
the days of Egypt, the ancient Egypt, right? You find somebody who gives you information about something that they have access to, and that's it, and that's spying. Then you turn it into a report, and you pass it up to somebody who reads it, and they make a decision. They wanted a new kind of mousetrap. They wanted a new way of doing espionage. And when they deployed us to the friendly country, that was their only request, was whatever you do there, coordinate it with the local leadership, and then don't tell us, because we have to make sure that the mole doesn't learn what you're doing. That's going to be how we tempt the mole to start probing around and asking questions that are outside of the norm. That's how
So
we're going to reverse
interesting.
engineer this and find the mole. So we need you to go do something new, and we need it not to be standard.
And don't tell us.
And don't tell us, but tell your leadership in the friendly country.
Your CIA leadership in the friendly country.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Because
And he's going to tell, or she's going to tell them.
no, so it's completely compartmentalized. So
You need to know.
right, because if we kept all of our operations,
You're not a good liar. See, his job's not for you. You're funny, Henry. You never said it was. Nay. Sorry, I had to refresh the comments. Sorry about that, Nay. Shout out to the YouTube manager, Nay. Thank you. I know we got to get that set up right. I know. I have to go on a computer. I can't do it from my phone. That's the only reason why I haven't contacted you about it yet. But we're just watching the news around us. This was just uploaded 1 day ago. The YouTube channel, I'll just show you. It's The Diary of CEO. That's the YouTube channel. It's about a former CIA spy and his story. Him and his wife, their story about working with the CIA.
and the mole would never know what we were doing. So we would be gathering intelligence, which would then be further compartmentalized to maybe a specific office where like 1 or 2 people at headquarters might know about one particular operation, and then 1 or 2 people might know about another operation. But it's because not all of Falcon House would know, the mole would not have access to any of these new intelligence sources. And that's what was really important. That's why they wanted us to rebuild, because he currently had access to all of the legacy
My coffee got
intelligence
cold.
sources.
I forgot about it.
Wanted to,
I got so hyped over this video, I forgot about my coffee. That's how interesting I literally find it.
But if he doesn't have access
for real.
to the resources,
I love CIA
he can't
shit.
pass any of that new information on. And now here we are, we're able to gather more intelligence, and then hopefully, if we're lucky, we strike gold on finding out who he is or who he's working with or other things. But yeah, compartmentalization is the key. So we were really very, kind of siloed in Wolf.
I'm trying to understand how you doing what you were doing was going to help the
Michael, I
CIA
lost my
discover
next
who
super
Mole
chat.
was.
Oh, damn.
Things in,
That sucks.
in double agent operations, which is what you're talking about when you talk about mole or penetration. A double agent, meaning I'm a sworn officer of CIA, but then I've also agreed to work with the Russians, the Chinese, the North Koreans, the Cubans, whatever. That's a double agent. Double agent operations are very difficult to maintain long term because if my information isn't relevant to my foreign adversary anymore, if I'm collecting secrets on Cuba, but I'm being paid by the Russians may not care that I keep collecting secrets on Cuba, so they might cut me off. And then all of a sudden I'm a double agent, culpable of crime, but without protection from another country. So when you think of your Edward Snowdens, when you think of some of your famous turncoats from the United States, they flee to the country that they were working for, ultimately. So if you don't have that escape path, then it becomes very, very stressful and scary for a double agent. So what CIA was counting on is the mole who was reporting our secrets to Falcon. If we could create new operations and that mole didn't have access to those new operations, then the mole would start to stretch. They would start to make mistakes.
Good night, Pragmatic.
Ask
Have a good
questions
night.
they shouldn't ask, steal information, try to hack onto systems they shouldn't get onto. And that's all stuff that CIA can use to build a legal case to arrest that person. But without having something that person has to stretch to collect, they're not going to make a mistake. So our job was to create something new so that the mole would make a mistake that CIA could track, and that would build a legal case that would allow CIA to arrest an American citizen for espionage.
Basically, yeah.
Did the CIA
Trying to
have access to
set it up.
the information the mole was sending back to the
Set up the
enemy
mole.
country?
No.
The mole come to
That's
you.
one of the most dangerous parts about double agent operations. We have a lot of nicknames, a lot of inside terminology, but we usually call it the keys to the kingdom. When you have a foreign penetration, you have the keys to everything in that foreign country's, all of their secrets, because you have access to an intelligence officer who can pull anything.
9 years
So
old.
our double agent,
Whoa.
our mole, had access to essentially everything related to Falcon that CIA had. So CIA didn't know what he was sharing, what he wasn't sharing, how much he had been sharing, or even how long he had been sharing it.
But they suspected he was sharing something.
Because there was something that our ally picked up on. Something that allowed them to identify the person and communicate it back.
So you land in this friendly country next to the enemy country, and do you have to adopt new aliases, new names, new stories? Do you have to pretend that you're normal people living a normal life?
You do. There's different ways that you can craft it. So GD's job as the targeter was to find our targets in Falcon. A big part of what we had to do when we got to Wolf, our friendly country, was do whatever the leadership there told us to do. So CIA crafted everything for us to land in the friendly country. Once we were in the friendly country, then we had to start crafting new identities, new aliases, so that we could travel out of the friendly country and into Falcon.
Into the enemy country.
Mm-hmm. But while living in Falcon, we were, Chief Manager Bustamante, Newlywed Couple, where we worked was covered.
Where did you work?
It's undercover. We still can't disclose it.
Yeah.
Like, as far as this enemy, did you run when you were in the enemy country working?
Kevin Cruz. Thank you, Kevin, for tuning in. Please like, consider subscribing.
Yeah, I'm going
We're just
into Falcon,
covering
there were different
world
have a
events right
different
now,
cover,
basically.
different cutout.
And we would use what you're referring to is called commercial cover or commercial activity, meaning
Former CIA
we would
spy
act as
talks
if
about
we
his
were
story.
part of commercial business.
Him and his
going
wife
into
talk about their story in the
You use your normal
CIA.
names.
No. This is one of the other things that's really fascinating about the book, and one of the reasons that CIA pushed back. We get to disclose whole new levels of tradecraft that have never been talked about in previous books. So the tradecraft that we use here is something that the Brits actually call dry cleaning. And what that means is we would clear our path before we would go into Falcon. So we're in a friendly country, and we need to go into a hostile country. In order to go from the friendly country to the hostile country, you can't go directly.
Thank you, Daisy, for another super chat.
The hostile country can track you
Brought up to
back your
1426. Thank you
and
so
then they
much,
can send
Daisy.
a team to hurt you if they need to in the friendly country. So instead what you do is you create a cleansing route. So you travel from the friendly country to a neutral country. And in that neutral country, you'll change identities and then travel into your target country. So now, if the hostile country tracks you, they track you back to a neutral country. And they have no idea that you originated from a friendly country.
But if you go from a friendly country to a neutral country...
Thank you for the
when you go to
34
a neutral
likes. Thank
country,
you so much.
Do you need like a new passport and stuff? Because that neutral country, presumably they don't know that you're spies.
Correct.
So do you have to have a new passport to then get on a plane to fly into the...
Yes, and it's what we would call a passport swap. And there's different ways of doing a swap. You can carry your own swap. You can have somebody meet you to do a swap. You can have a cachet where you hide a swap. But that's the benefit of always using a consistent cleansing route, because you can always go back to the same neutral country. And from the hostile country's point of view, every time they track you, you always go back to the same place. So they start to build a pattern of life, what we call a pattern of life, where they believe you're originating from this country.
That's
when
smart.
in fact, you're not.
Smart.
So you land in this friendly country, you're making your way into the hostile country. What was your objective? What were you trying to do in that hostile country?
The first thing we were trying to do was find targets.
Okay.
And then we knew that as we found targets and built targets, we would also need to support the operations against those targets. And there's a logistical element to espionage where you need to have encrypted phones, you need to have satellite phones or SIM cards, you need to have money, you need to have specialized gifts. Like there's a logistical supply chain that needs to be built.
Specialized gifts.
So things that are appealing to a target that they may not be able to get themselves. Gold bullion, high-end liquors, child pornography, foreign currency, whatever they need.
I forgot about
Make sure
that.
they have a way of getting it.
Child pornography.
Some targets, especially in the world of drugs and terrorism and weapons, they feed off of the strangest things.
So the CIA would supply that pornography?
In a way, we would more like facilitate
You gotta
some other friendly.
gotta be a bad
country
guy.
who
Look
acquires
like
it.
a bad
So,
guy,
for example,
at least, to
Germany
catch a bad guy
might
sometimes,
actually,
huh?
have a
You know?
raid where
I
they-
believe
where
it.
They carry out a raid against a pornographer and they have terabytes of porn, right? And then the UK might have a case where they need porn to pay an Iranian. So now they can trade with BND, so the BND can use this cache of porn and they can give it to the Brits who give it to the Iranians, and that can be a currency of types. So again, morally ambivalent, the goal is to protect your people at the end of the day, right? So
I
when it
get it.
comes down to
That's
the
hard.
same
It's hard to
purpose.
swallow when
If
you
we're
hear
giving
that.
gold, we're giving minted
You gotta
American
catch the
gold
bad guys somehow.
to an evil person in North Korea. Do we really care if it's keeping Americans safe? There are some people who would say yes, and there are other people who would say whatever the price is, let's keep Americans safe.
That's how I feel.
So tell me about what you did then. So what did you accomplish while you were there? And what was you talk in the book about using
Gotta keep
terrorist
Americans
tactics
safe.
to build your operation there. Can you run me through what it is you...
We gotta step out and smoke real quick. And we're gonna change the video up soon. To the next on the list, it would be a corrupt sheriff. Tommy G just uploaded, I think yesterday. We're gonna get to that next. Thank you so much for tuning in, liking, and subscribing. I know this isn't my normal, but like I said, until I start my job next month on the 8th, I'm just gonna maybe start doing more of these. I don't know. This is. I'm just seeing how this goes. So far, it's not going bad. I made like $14. I'm like, okay, well, that's not bad for being between jobs. Some money's better than nothing. I guess this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna head back in there and just keep it going. Oh, my vape died. All right, y'all. Hit my pen real quick. Okay, change up the viewing now.
We had to get them to learn how to run the same model. That's really what the book explains, is how we built that and what what those
I didn't even like it. Gotta give that man a like for sure. That's the second like he got actually, but whatever. All right. So the next on the list, show you guys. I wish I had a selfie stick. It'd be much easier to showcase everything. It would look a lot better. But no selfie stick. Bear with me. Next on the list is Chinese shit. Oh, okay, you guys are. I don't know. I thought it was the Tommy G one, but we'll just go to this one instead because this is next. Appreciate everyone still tuned in. I know that most of my audience is not going to be interested in this live stream, and that's okay. This is maybe a chance to explore new audiences. I can't get this thing to work, though. There we go. All right, so next one, like I said, is Chinese. All I wrote is Chinese ship challenge. So I'm hoping that it comes up, because if it don't come up like that, I don't know how I'm gonna find it. Chinese ship. It's so much harder, so much more time consuming. Try to type this in on the TV other than your phone. Ship. I don't know. I just spelled ship with 2 P's, so. Oh, I thought I seen it before I typed in another letter. I hate when that happens. Bear with me, Chad, bear with me. Oh my gosh, I'm butchering right now. I don't. Yeah, I think that's it anyway, right here. All right, here we go. Hey, thank you, Andy K, for the $5 super chat. Read the super chat. Rocking Promatic sent me what? Sent me what? Following the bouncing ball, Michael. What? Thank you, Andy K. I don't see what you mean though. Rocking Promatic sent you SCs. What is that? Screenshots? They sent me screenshots. Here we go. This next one is
2025. In the disputed water
August 15,
of the
2025.
South China Sea, a Chinese warship chose to confront the American destroyer USS Higgins in an arrogant, reckless manner. Beijing captains shouted orders over the radio, boasting of sovereignty, while their Coast Guard vessels sprayed water cannons at Filipino fishermen, forcing them to flee like uninvited intruders in their own waters. The humiliation was bitter, the image unforgettable. Simple wooden boats retreating before giants of steel. But the American destroyer USS Higgins is no pushover. With 9,200 tons of steel and gunpowder, it was built to project dominance on any ocean, with majestic serenity. A quiet reminder that American naval power still deserves respect. This was no ordinary patrol. It was a clash of pride, of law, and of power. So what really happened in that confrontation? Were any shots fired? Let's find out the truth. August 13th, 2025.
August 13th.
At exactly 7:46 a.m., the calm surface of the South China Sea shattered into confrontation.
This just happened,
The
y'all.
American destroyer, USS Higgins, a 9,000-ton steel giant.
Focus what?
Defense and dominance, was carrying out a routine freedom of navigation operation near Scarborough Shoal. For Washington, this was no reckless gamble. It was a legal, deliberate mission. A signal that
You bet my girl's getting railed right now. I know. A lot of you are like that. A lot of you are on that
But
attitude. I'm
Beijing had
ignoring
other
you.
plans. Out of the haze, several Chinese warships appeared, their gray silhouettes cutting across the waves like predators circling their prey. Type 052D destroyers and Type 054A frigates, the sharp edge of China's naval rise, closed in fast. Within minutes, they were riding parallel to Higgins, less than 500 yards away. Over the radio, a sharp voice crackled in English, thick with threat. U.S. warship, you are in Chinese waters. Leave immediately or face consequences. The intent was unmistakable. This was no routine patrol by China. It was a deliberate act of intimidation, a calculated attempt to provoke. Some ships even cut across Higgins's bow at dangerous angles, creating wakes that threatened collision. The message was clear: yield or be forced to. On Higgins's deck, sailors tightened their grips on steel railings. Their orders were firm: steady course, steady speed, minimal chatter. The restraint was almost unbearable. To men trained to react in split seconds, the urge to respond was strong. Every instinct screamed against this humiliation. But discipline held. Not a single missile was armed, not a single gun elevated. For ordinary Americans, it may seem unimaginable. The most powerful navy in the world forced to endure harassment without firing back. But that is the razor's edge of modern conflict. Strength measured not only by firepower, but by control. The tension was suffocating. One wrong move, one panicked reaction, and 155 meters of steel could have become the spark for a global inferno. Scarborough Shoal, a few reefs and rocks barely rising above the water, had become the stage for superpowers. And on this morning, the world came dangerously close to watching peace collapse under the weight of pride and provocation. If you were the commander of the destroyer USS Higgins, would you order the Chinese ship to be shot? Let's see what the commander of the warship decides. The standoff dragged on, second by second, until time itself seemed stretched to the breaking point. The Chinese ships pressed harder, edging closer, circling
He's
tighter.
very good at narrating the
So near
feel,
across Higgins's
the
bow that the
feel
distance
of the
shrank to
moment,
just
isn't it?
300 yards, a heartbeat in naval terms.
A heart.
At sea, two steel giants that size colliding could tear open hulls, ignite fuel, and kill hundreds of sailors within minutes. The Chinese captains knew it. That was the point. On Higgins, discipline held. The bridge was silent except for the steady, almost mechanical commands. Hold course, maintain speed. The officers' voices carried calm authority, but the tension on deck told a different story. Sailors gripped the rails until their knuckles turned white. One described it later as standing in front of a loaded cannon and daring it to fire. They knew what their ship carried. 96 vertical launch cells, each one capable of unleashing tomahawks, harpoons, or...
Like, what's going on? I'm just being corny.
In less than 2 minutes, Higgins could turn every hostile contact on radar into twisted...
What you're hearing about was on August 13th, so this is very recent, what you're hearing about.
But that was exactly why restraint mattered. To unleash such power in a moment of anger would not only sink a few ships, it could pull two superpowers representing over 1.7 billion people into open war. The burden of restraint weighed heavier than the 9,200 tons of steel beneath their boots. Still, the provocation burned. Imagine serving aboard one of America's most advanced destroyers, built at a cost of nearly $2 billion.
$2 billion.
And forced to endure taunts and intimidation from ships half its capability. To the men on Higgins, every splash of water from a Chinese wake, every shouted demand over the radio, was an insult not just to their mission, but to their flag. The frustration was real. It sat in their chests like a stone. And yet, this too was a form of power. Higgins's SPY-1D radar tracked more than 200 contacts simultaneously, marking every Chinese ship, every fishing boat, every plane
Over
overhead.
200, that's a lot.
The sailors knew, if the order came, they could strike first, strike fast, and strike decisively. The Chinese wanted to show dominance. Instead, they revealed their desperation. On that morning, restraint was not weakness. It was discipline. It was proof that America's true strength lies not just in its arsenal, but in its control. But every man aboard Higgins felt the same truth. Patience has limits. And when those limits are crossed,
Patience
the
does have
consequences can
limits.
shake the world.
He's
Yet
cooked.
behind that silence,
I'm just paying
behind
attention,
every
bro.
clenched fist and steady command, lay the true measure of American power. A power not just endured, but waiting to be revealed. While Chinese destroyers and frigates prowled menacingly at close range, the USS Higgins remained steady, cutting through the waves with calm precision. To the untrained eye, The American ship seemed passive, even cornered. But beneath the steel decks lay an arsenal that could alter the fate of nations in a single hour. Higgins's vertical launch system housed 96 missile tubes, each one capable of carrying either an SM-2 interceptor, an ESSM for close-in defense, or a Tomahawk cruise missile with a reach of over 1,000
Watching YouTube,
miles.
mind you, the information
In
is
raw
sketchy.
numbers, this single destroyer carried more firepower than the entire Philippine Navy combined.
Is it?
Its Phalanx CIWS could spit out 4,500 rounds per minute, a wall of steel that would shred any missile or aircraft daring to approach. Its SPY-1D radar could track over 200 targets at once, separating real threats from false signals with unblinking accuracy. For Beijing's commanders, these facts were not lost. The Chinese ships
He says the
candid
facts.
bristled with weapons. The Type 052D destroyers armed with the feared YJ-18 anti-ship missile, capable of streaking toward its target at supersonic speed with a range of nearly 290 miles. Each warhead packed enough explosive force to rip through a carrier's hull. Alongside them, the smaller Type 054A frigates.
The visuals are very boring and they reuse a lot, but the audio is really, you know what, caught my attention. But I'm gonna show you guys this next one real quick, and this one's Tommy G's. If you haven't seen it, a lot of you probably already watched it. I don't know, just in case. This next one is investigating the murderous sheriff of Los Angeles. I'm just gonna type in Tommy G. That's what I'm gonna type in. Player. It's much easier. If you guys just want to go look that up, I just advise you do it that way. But for anybody that doesn't mind doing it this way, I'm here for it. All right. Investigating. Here we go. Investigating the murderous sheriff gangs of Los Angeles. Tommy G.
It's another case of alleged police brutality, this time accusations leveled against the LA County Sheriff's Department.
The man who said he was held down and beaten by 3 sheriff deputies in Compton.
An alleged gang of sheriff's deputies within the LA County Sheriff's Department known as the Executioners.
The group that became the most dangerous is one we know as the Executioners.
3 deputies were beating a black inmate. He was handcuffed to the waist.
The real badasses from the 203 boys.
Yeah, I've been here. Lost my bro, Michael. Keep it up, pal. Thank you, Jamin. Please like, if you haven't liked the stream, please like, subscribe. Tommy G. Yeah.
The Executioners, Vikings, Jump Out Boys.
Rocking Tommy G.
These men in uniform have been accused of everything from beatings to planting evidence to murder, robberies, and kidnapping. Now, these deputy cliques have long been an open secret in Los Angeles, but to those outside the LA bubble, the reality is shocking. To investigate this properly, we assembled an expert cast of characters, starting with John Sweeney, the legendary attorney who has beaten LASD in court time and time again. Mark, a former deputy who went to prison for robbery while in uniform and exposed his life inside the departments. Paulina Warrens, an LA Central Jail chaplain of 19 years who saw the brutality firsthand.
Don't think you should watch that? Why is that?
2 former deputies turned whistleblowers. And finally, multiple mothers, including one whose 120-pound son was beaten beyond recognition by 5 deputies. Join us today as we take a deep look inside America's largest sheriff office and the gangs that hide within its walls. Ladies and gentlemen, we have quite an investigation for ourselves this morning. And to me, this is the time to be in tip-top shape, mental focus, and clarity. There's an interesting supplement out there from the resin company called Himalaya.
Keep it friendly for the miners in the chat, please. That's the only warning you get. Thank you, Nene, for being here.
Male enhancement, stamina, mental clarity, and focus. And this is what I do with it. I glob it up on this little serving spoon type thing. I put it in my hot coffee. I let it start to dissolve and disintegrate. You know who takes this? Sherpas. Sherpas are some of the most elite athletes on the planet. These are the people that help Lift packs up Mount Everest. It has fulvic acid with 85 minerals that help with hormone balance. This is going to sound funky, but it also has micro gold particles, which is supposed to help with nutrient absorption. Guys, for someone out there that wants just that little more edge, this is something that you should consider trying. If you're out there feeling like crap, but you're dying to get
Mods should remove the minors.
sprinkle in supplements like this to take your game to the next level.
Thank you for liking the stream. Please, if you haven't yet, like the stream.
Boom.
We got 1926 super chats. Appreciate y'all.
Magic supplement right here, and I'm ready for business. If this sounds up your alley, go into my description, click the link, and get 10% off using my code TOMMYG off your first order. Let's hit the streets and start this investigation. What adjective would you use to describe the Compton execution?
Assholes. My name is Romel Agee. I'm currently a California licensed private investigator. I specialize in police misconduct and police wrongful deaths at the hands of law enforcement.
You were LA County Sheriff.
Yes.
Jeez, why you get so much hate? I know, I do, Nene. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm not replying to everything. Reply to super chats and stuff, but a lot of the others just hate.
Specifically, police excessive force cases that I have a passion for.
In the mid to late 90s, the Sheriff's Department took over control of the policing in Compton in the year 2000.
Alan Romero is a lawyer who was representing two deputies who tried to blow the whistle on the Compton department. One of them was Officer Art Gonzalez, a Marine Corps veteran who spoke out against the executioners and was met with death threats. The other was Captain Larry Waldy, who says he was targeted by his fellow officers after he made it known within the department that he opposed the executioners.
So what happened is you had some competing groups who were going to try to control the station. The group that became the most dangerous is one we know as the executioners. Now, what the real name of this group is, we may never know, because even in trial, the leader of the group, a deputy by the name of Jaime Juarez, who was a few years ago promoted to a detective, said the group doesn't have a name.
It turns out this group does have a name, and they go by the Compton executioners, and they are perhaps the most dangerous and ruthless of the 24 known and documented sheriff gangs in the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department, which we'll often refer to as LASD for short.
We're headed to the Compton station.
Man.
You guys get some footage of the exterior of the location where the executioners were.
Bad and corruption everywhere you go in this world, y'all. You already know that.
Explosion that killed 3 deputy sheriffs.
I gotta get a vape real quick.
Incident that killed at least 3 at a law enforcement training facility in Los Angeles.
One of them was the deputy that shot and killed Robert Thomas Jr.
The executioners started.
Way too much.
Police departments in the county of Los Angeles. The sheriff department handles the prisoners in all of the county of Los Angeles that are being prosecuted.
Before hitting the streets, every LA sheriff's deputy starts their career
Thank you,
in
Nene.
jails. Some say it's a great proving ground and a crash course for handling chaos, but others say starting in the jails conditions the deputies to get the feeling that everyone they deal with on the streets is a criminal.
Did you hear what he just said? Rewind that a little bit. That's worth it.
Of the location where the executioners were housed. The recent LA County Sheriff explosion that killed 3 deputy sheriffs.
It appears to be, quote, a horrific incident that killed at least 3 at a law enforcement training facility in Los Angeles.
One of them was the deputy that shot and killed Robert Thomas Jr.
The executioners started in the Los Angeles County Jail. Every deputy sheriff has to go through custody for training. Custody is the lockup. All the police departments in the county of Los Angeles, the sheriff department handles the prisoners in all of the county of Los Angeles that are being prosecuted.
Before hitting the streets, every LA sheriff's deputy starts their career by working in the jails. Some say it's a great proving ground and a crash course for handling chaos, but others say starting in the jails conditions the deputies to get the feeling that everyone they deal with on the streets is a criminal.
Right there, that part. They start them off in the jails. That way they give them this feel that everyone they deal with on the streets is a criminal. They start them off working the cops off in the county jails. to give them that feeling that when they come across, is going to be a criminal when they get on the streets doing the job. That's what he just said.
Brother was killed at Pensions Detention Center March 3rd, 2017. They had originally told me that he had a seizure. He fell off a top bunk and then was pronounced dead.
Did he have a history of seizures?
No. As a time
Tommy G, if you want to look it up yourself on your phone.
Feeling that something wasn't right.
Tommy G on
So I did my
YouTube.
own homework. Found out that it wasn't a seizure, that he had been beaten to death in Wayside Detention Center. They said they didn't have any pictures. And I said, that's awesome.
So when I say,
so then at the end, I got all pictures and that showed all the details.
like, I'm not always focused on me and Christina stuff. I actually, like, I don't know. I just tune into other content so much more than my own little life, y'all. I'm just bringing you guys, like, trying to get you guys I don't know. The more people we got liking these kind of videos, this is why I'm really showing you. Because if I can get people to look it up, you know, like their videos, comment and stuff, it lets people know that, you know, the people these guys are going up, Tommy G's going after a bad sheriff. It holds people accountable. The more attention they get, you know what I mean. I know you know what I mean. So that's the the underlying reason why I'm showing you all this.
That his teeth were kicked in. He had like stab wound, puncture wounds, and a lot.
If you upload the app, you want to join.
It kind of make sense.
App what? Woes? See the comments I made. Plus, I'm waiting to ask if you want to join. What do you mean, Nene? I don't know. I don't know what that is, Nene.
You say, oh, you're part of a big street gang.
I have no idea what that is, Nene. Oh, Discord? I'm terrified to join that Discord. I'm terrified that I don't want to do it. Like, I just don't, like, I have a hard enough time dealing with the YouTube and the hate from the YouTube comments. I just like, oh man, get on Discord. That's even, I'm gonna thank you guys for anyone and everyone that truly supports me in there. I know I have some of you, I keep being told, so thank you, Nene. I'm nervous about that part.
They say, are you kidding me? That the cops, the sheriffs are the biggest gang of all.
The only difference is that
that's what Discord is about, but I'll check it out. All right.
Our next witness, Paulina Ward, served as a chaplain inside Men's Central Jail for over 15 years. Central Jail is widely regarded as the most notorious lockup in Los Angeles and a critical piece of territory for the LA Sheriff gangs. In 2025, it's already on track to become one of the deadliest years on record, with 26 inmates losing their lives so far. And after a long career inside the Central Jail,
good.
Paulino can speak on things that few other people can.
It's really not good.
From what you know from inmates that have stayed there, are beatings common from the sheriffs?
Yes, there's a lot of common, because the whites run that area.
Which deputy gang is this?
The whites?
That's what they're called?
Yeah.
Fazetta is speaking on the Wayside Whiteys. This sheriff gang's territory is the Pitches Detention Center, also known as the Wayside Detention Center. Now, the Whitey symbol was throwing up their hand with their middle fingers crossed into a W, and they were known for targeting black inmates that fought other white inmates. And for reference, there was a case of Clyde Crawford, where the deputies handcuffed him, beat him dozens of times, including with a flashlight, all while yelling, Wayside Whiteys. And this is the group that beat Facetta's brother to death.
when I work with a little car with most fireballs, I start listening.
Faye Michael, he's always on Discord talking about she's done with you, but she's always like, just subscribe to the channel. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking the stream. We got 40 likes. Thank you so much for the 40 likes. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
How three deputies were beating
Again, Tommy G on YouTube.
Inmate. He was handcuffed to the waist and chasing. So he was against the wall, and one deputy was here, one here, one here. They were beating until finally he was, please stop, and he fell on the cement with a head. And you see the blood. And they still kicking him on the floor. And one more, he said, stop. Was the last time I can hear. And I wasn't. I tried to say something, but I can't. man, it was really hard. It was like 4 minutes.
I think that at this point, everybody has such a fear of them that they just don't want to even go and touch that. That's the road they don't want to cross.
Police brutality, man. I'm glad that the how police around me, like I've only put on the hood once unnecessarily. Other than that, every other time I've been very lucky, very blessed. They've been very graceful with me.
My arrest where I got 7 years in the federal prison system. I did about 5 on good time credit and 1 year of halfway house for Second Chance Act, and I got home early.
I don't know why people keep talking about some broke. I shouldn't have never said that one.
Decided to do a fake search warrant on a medical marijuana distribution center run by the Vietnamese.
You look like a burning calories trying to think.
It was caught by the feds shortly after.
There's no professional jailing staff or deputies in the sheriff's department. You're stuck in the jails, and almost everyone stuck in the jails at the beginning of their career for 2, 3, 5, 8 years wants to get out and patrol, because that's where they feel where the action's at, and that's where they feel the best career path for them is.
And those deputies there started a gang called the 200 Boys and the 300 Boys. They were violent with these inmates. They beat, they planted evidence on them. They did all kind of horrible, nefarious things with them. After you rotate out of custody, you're asked what station you want to be assigned to. The real badasses from the 200 and 300 Boys wanted to go to Compton.
Compton, if you know, you know.
Originated as far as being the executioners. This is where they operated from and out of.
Yeah. Any glasses?
No, they've spread them out. They've sent them to different locations.
So if I go in there and
Thank you
talk
for the
to
hearts.
say, hey,
Appreciate
sir,
you.
I'm under active investigation. I need you to comply with me right now.
You can try. Sheriffs are no joke. Okay, they're no joke. They're mad at a lot of people. Okay, especially if you go in there talking about the execution.
I feel a little nervous with all the stories that you hear.
None of these people are in Discord. If we have something to say, don't super chat it.
Looking to do a little interview.
Don't super code it with my
We have a little investigation. We're looking for help.
Thank you for the 40 likes. If you haven't yet, please consider liking the stream. It does help, and I do appreciate it. Super coat.
Some of the known associates actually happen to have resigned in this building. I don't know if you've seen anyone. They have that skeleton tattoos with the AK-47s and the Nazi helmet. I don't know. Have you been in their presence at all? Like, ever been with any of the known members?
See, bro, 5th grade quiz. Wow, actually, and I saw that myself.
He
Yeah.
promised to bring down prices, but instead,
Ads.
Congressman Tom Barrett.
Anyway, thank you everyone that's still tuned in. On the list, I'm really trying to just get through this list. The last one I have on the list is, what is that? Oh, press briefing with, who is that? Kara, what's her name? That blind chick. Caroline Levitt, whatever her name is, you know, that blonde White House secretary lady. She's very beautiful, but yeah, I don't know her name. But that was next, and that was just her covering all the recent updates. I was going to play that, but I was actually kind of like, oh, well, should I play that even? Because most people just already know what's going on. But maybe I'll play that after this for like to cap it off. And then after that, you guys, I don't know, I might end the stream after that because I don't have any other things to update about. I just wanted to kind of bring attention to other things other than me, even though anybody can just look it up, you know, just find themselves on any random wormhole, you know, without my help anyway. But just in case, I can show some light on some things that I feel that are important. That'd be cool. I don't know. How long he gonna be for? Donate if you need, Albert. If you want to, bro. If you want to, I appreciate it. Appreciate just your time, for you being here and liking the stream. That helps by itself. Thank you for that alone. Give the chat what they want. What does the chat want, Nene? What does the chat want? I don't have any requests. Do I have any requests? You gotta. No, Christina, that's not an option right now, y'all. Chat wants. Well, that's not an option right now either. We gotta come up with something that is an option right now to do. Thank you for the 41 likes. Thank you. Finally got that 41st. Thank you, whoever that one person. Appreciate you. The 41 of you. Thank you. Stand on your head. Oh, okay, so we're getting back to this. I'm gonna go back to the stream, y'all. I'm gonna go back to watching these videos. There's no requests other than silly, really goofy, silly ones. Let's go back to what I was doing before. Oops.
Doesn't excuse the crimes of the sheriff gangs. It did give me an interesting perspective to think about from the other side of the coin. Alright, now we're at the scene of Avery Cody Jr., where another murder by the LA Sheriff's Department occurred.
There was this young man named Avery Cody Jr. On July 5th, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, they were walking to McDonald's to have lunch, and they were on their way back at a very busy intersection. They were caught on video of this Winchell's donut stand walking to the McDonald's. After they finished their lunch, they walked back down the same direction that they came from. There was a don't walk, hand up, and they looked to their left, and there's a Crown Victoria clear sign that is an undercover police vehicle, and it was 2 deputy sheriffs in there. The kids decided just to backtrack 2 feet and wait for the light to turn. And the officers, for no reason whatsoever,
This is crazy.
got out of the car and told them to come to the car, and they started to search them, and then Avery takes off running, and he angles out into the street, and then he's picked up by this camera again, and then you see this officer run after him and then stop about right here and gets into a crouch, raises his gun and fire, hits him in the back, and little Avery falls in that center median right there, dead. Although I have no evidence that the shooting officer was doing anything to get into a gang. I didn't know at this point whether or not there was a gang. But with this series of shootings,
Guys, please pay attention to
I
this.
suspected that a gang existed.
My name is Vanessa Perez. I'm the mother of Joseph Andrew Perez, who was severely beaten by Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department on July 27, 2020.
The sweatshirt you're wearing has an extremely brutal and disturbing photo on that. Can you describe what we're seeing?
This is a photo from the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department that they took in the hospital after they beat my son. They're seeing my son after he was punched 121 times.
Do you know how many officers were beating him at the same time?
7. They gave different reasons. My son is mentally ill. He struggles with bipolar, schizophrenia, and psychosis. And as he was a couple blocks away from my house, he was in crisis, talking to himself, hearing voices. And I was looking for him. I couldn't find him. And what I did hear were sirens, and then they went quiet. And then I would hear sirens again, and I'd see sheriffs going in different directions. I followed the helicopter about a couple blocks from my house, and that's when I found almost like the whole department was there now by that point.
How many officers do you think were there?
Oh, at least 30.
You see your son?
I didn't know my son was on the floor until about 45 minutes later. When I first got there, they said that there was a bad fight, and then I seen deputies put a light-skinned man on a gurney.
That's a lot to swallow, huh? Chat.
Under Section 186.22 of the California Penal Code, a criminal gang is described as an organization of 3 or more people that have a common name or symbol, have a pattern of committing crimes, and they do this either alone or together. And it seems clear to me that these sheriff gangs would indeed be looked at as criminal gangs under California law. Which brings me to the question of why haven't any of these groups been charged under the RICO Act? After all, that's what would happen if the Blood Serenos or the Hells Angels did the same exact things these cops are doing. This seems to be a
He
serious
makes a good
double
point.
standard of justice. Tell me what you guys think in the comments.
Like maybe about 30 minutes later, the sergeant came up to me and said that.
You did see that yesterday? Right on. I did too. This is for everyone that doesn't haven't seen it. It's never come across Tommy G. Go check him out. Tommy G on YouTube.
He was screaming, why did you do this to me? Why? And he would go back to being quiet. And that's when I knew that was my son.
Mark, were you in it, Sheriff K?
Was I was not. At one point, I was at Century Station where the regulators were at.
Within these departments, how common was it to be part of a sheriff gang?
It's like a secret. You don't really know that they don't talk about it. It's like a station. You don't just walk around, hey, you're a regulator, dude. But I think these guys, a lot of them that chase ink, they go there to get that tattoo. Once they get it, they feel super proud or whatever it is. And it could be raining and 50 degrees and they're wearing shorts and flip-flops so they could show their tattoo loud and proud. It's like, come on, keep
Power trip.
Have you ever attended an inking party?
Now, usually at the off-training parties, when a group of guys get off training at the station, that's usually when they'll be their inkings are done at that same time. It's not done there. It's done afterwards. It's done usually in a dude's house or something to that effect. But I haven't been able to go to one of those myself because I wasn't invited to be getting the ink. But I know a lot of guys that did.
Folks, the truth about the violent behavior you are hearing about is that within these departments, violence against civilians was not only encouraged, but celebrated. For example, Officer Larry Wally testified that the Compton executioners actually held a party at a restaurant to commemorate a deputy-involved shooting. Another way violence was celebrated when a deputy would commit violence or murder against a citizen, it would sometimes host an event giving the man responsible a tattoo, which to me, it makes these deputy cliques sound no different than a common street gang.
So there are significant legal
Tommy G
barriers
makes a lot of good
to
points.
investigating and holding officers like Highlure and the rest of the executioners accountable.
Not the dick
One of
rat.
the primary barriers is the fact that
Make a
you
good
have
point.
to get someone within the department to stand up and be a whistleblower. That's going to 100% destroy their career, and they have to know that at the point. And we had some really brave people, like Larry Waldy, and we had Art Gonzalez come through and do that.
Now, is it true that people would receive their tattoos after they committed an act of violence or killed a civilian?
I can't speak for all of the station tattoos. The original ones, probably not. The newer ones that came after, yeah, I would say so.
Then we got a case.
Just be honest. You don't know what's going on.
Dante Taylor, a young man.
I'm watching it. What are you talking about?
Right now, folks, we are at
The people's content with Michael's opinion on it. Yeah, basically. It's a reaction video.
Against the Compton executioners with their tattoos and their gangs within the department. I'm gonna let these guys take it from here.
We're on the corner of Wilmington Avenue and.
We all know there's good and bad cops. We all know that.
Controlled or was controlled, probably still is controlled by the Cedar Block. Compton.
But there's more good cops than bad.
Lived here.
I believe that too.
And was hanging out with his good friend George Taylor. It was about dusk, and he came out of his house and walked northbound on Wilmington. He was encountered by 2 deputy sheriffs. This is Samuel Aldama. This is Mizraim Orega. They are the 2 deputies who shot and killed Dante Taylor. They stopped him, asked him if he was on probation. He said no, took off running. He was on his way down to that liquor store. I'm sure it's still there. He was stopped right around this area, maybe in
I don't know, y'all. What do y'all think?
deputies claim that he
Lost my brother to fentanyl 3 years ago. Dealt with the drug scene for 20 plus years, Jamin. Sorry, bro.
Deputy Sheriff Romel Agee interviewed several
That's why we need
witnesses
cops,
along
man.
the streets.
That way we can, you know, fight that shit, the drugs and everything, and you know.
Of course. Okay, that's typically what happens in
Sure, you know my
neighborhoods.
story
I wasn't able
somewhat,
to talk
so
to anybody until we actually got over to where the shooting took place. Where
why we
somebody
gotta
actually
fight it,
responded.
man.
They didn't know anything along the way, but over on.
Keep busy, guys. Thanks, Hunter K. Thanks, Mark. Yeah, Jamie, appreciate you. Thank you.
See a gun.
How these cop gangs really affect our communities, especially communities
Cop
of color,
gangs?
is that they're not going to follow the law. They're not going to follow instructions from their superiors. They're going to go out there. They're going to beat up whoever they have to beat up. They're going to tackle. They're going to accost people without reasonable suspicion to try and get guns. That's their main thing. They want guns. Sometimes when they would lose people on pursuits, they would call in ghost guns. If they have man with the guns, of course, every unit responds to find the person with the gun, and it turns out there's no guns.
Can you speak to the practice of
Ghost guns
planting
means no
evidence
guns.
by the county executioners?
What came up over and over again is they say that the person had a gun and that
Yeah, keep it going, but you need better videos of a action to react. Oh, okay.
using force against them.
You know, you had a lot of that type of stuff going on. I mean, they're gonna get caught no matter what. If you're planting dope,
Yeah.
I remember seeing
Eventually,
a couple
you will
of
get caught.
shootings where they thought there was a gun. They shot the dude. They thought he had a gun, and he didn't. And all of a sudden, a gun appeared near his hand. Hey, how'd I get there? Fell out of the sky.
Tom Barrett is looking out for us.
How'd that get there? He said, fall out of the sky. He was talking about police planting evidence. If you missed out on that, what he was talking about. He was talking about police planting evidence. Excuse me. I need a vape, y'all. I need to go. Need a vape. My vape dead. Somehow. Shouldn't be dead, but it is. Alright, bear with me, chat. We need less people supplying this Vicky. Alright, Travis, man. Opinions vary, bro. Some people really support me and my wishes for Christina and I to stay together, and most people don't, but there's a small handful of people that do. Appreciate the support. Like I titled the other stream yesterday. Unsubscribe if you don't support Christina and I, because that's honestly how I feel. That's why I made that live stream about it. Thank you for the 40 likes, though. Do you ever get and watch your old videos? Do I ever go watch my old videos? No, I was thinking about uploading, though. Oh, wait. I think I have my drug test calling. The drug test calling. Hold on, chat. Hold on. No, that wasn't drug test call. I'm expecting a drug test call. I know I haven't spoke about that yet. The drug test that I said I passed, I did pass. I came up for THC, but because I came up for THC, even though they're higher for THC, they still, if you come up for THC, they still, even though they're higher, they still send it out just to make sure you don't come up positive for any of the drugs. And I was told to keep my phone on and by me because I'm gonna get a call from this place, and they're just to tell me I have THC, and I have to confirm that I acknowledge I tested positive for THC. And if I don't confirm it, they'll tell the company that I failed the drug test. So I have to make sure I accept the call when it comes in. I support y'all getting clean and healthy relationship without the dependence of drugs and alcohol. So, thank you, Travis. Thank you. That means a lot, Travis. Thank you. I appreciate that, Travis. I really do, man. Lukewarm words, Christina. Yeah, You guys, I'm gonna get back to reaction videos. I had to charge my vape real quick. But I'm gonna go get back to showing you guys what's going on around us. You know what I mean? A lot of you may have already been tuned in and already watched these content creators that I watch myself. But just in case those that don't know, I want you all to know what's going on around you. All right? Michael's too boring of a guy. All right? I'm lame. I'm boring. I'm a basement rat. Right? I'm going to show you, expose the world around you. That's all I'm going to do. All right? For all the Patrick stars out there. All right? I'm going to show all of us what's going on. Damn, we just missed so much of the story. I forgot to pause it.
John was the guy who broke the whole gang story open at that one deposition they took of Obama.
I kind of just like that. Anyway, look up Tommy G on YouTube. Look up Tommy G on YouTube if you want to see that story. I muted instead of pausing it. That was my bad. I'm going to go back inside. I'm going to look up one more. It's a political video, so I'm probably not going to have anybody in here. But that's okay. I still feel like I want to do it, so I'm going to do it regardless. Unless I start getting suggestions for other things, that's what I'm going to do. And I'm not doing the Emma thing. But you know, not on board with that, so we're going to leave that alone. If I get 10K subs, I'll talk to Christina about doing a collaboration with Emma. You could rewind it. I could, but just look him up. Tommy G on YouTube. You'll see it. I'm going to move on to the next thing because I already messed it up. And I don't know where we left off at. All right. Now for the rest, I'm gonna actually try to lay off my cart because I'm not trying to just show that I'm just a pothead. The only thing I care about is smoking weed and chilling home. I'm not trying to really be that way, but also I am a pothead.
When we took the deposition of Samuel Aldama is the deposition that really cracked this case and exposed this whole sheriff.
I meant to say I'm about to drink coffee. About to start drinking more coffee.
Nobody had ever known their name, and they were an extremely secretive group. I asked the same question of all the cases I just told you about. I said, do you have any tattoos on your person? He said, yes, I do. I said, why don't you describe them? I said, first of all, where are they? He said, they're on my arms. One of them, he said, is a St. Michael's, I think he said, tattoo. It's like the patron saint of police officers protecting. The other one was on his other arm. He said it was a family symbol or something. You know, I love my wife or something like that. I said, Deputy, what about the one on your leg? And he started gulping. And his jugular started throbbing. I knew I had something. As a cross-examiner, I've cross-examined hundreds of people over the years. It's a skeleton. Oh, okay. And I knew that all those gangs, the base is a skeleton because it symbolizes death. And he goes on to describe this sinister tattoo with this Kalashnikov.
I'm gonna grow it, not a shower. I gotta cut my grass with a lawnmower, fly a kite, taking it's funny.
XXVIII, which stands for the 28th substation of the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, which is Compton. That's on the magazine. He has a Nazi helmet on, which CPT, which stands for Compton.
A Nazi.
He's surrounded by flames, which symbolizes he's emerging from hell. Very sinister tattoo. It goes from his knee all the way down to his ankle. That is the first time it was revealed to the public that there was a sinister gang within the city of Compton.
I mean, I think when anyone sees these tattoos, you wouldn't believe that this would be on a police officer's body, especially with a Nazi helmet and flames.
What is with LA right now? Like, why do they have this problem with gang cops in gangs? Why is that a problem? Why is that a problem?
Hollywood idea of the police as the good guys. I was shocked when it became clear that this was not a one-off, a rogue deputy. This was a part of a pattern and practice. They shared the tattoos and they were sequentially numbered. It was shocking.
You might be wondering how many Compton deputies are tied to the executioners. Inside sources estimate that of 100 officers at the station, about 20 are inked members and another 20 are prospects or close associates. That's nearly 40% of the station.
That's a lot.
Even during the height of the Catholic Church's
That's
scandals,
not good.
only about 6% of the priests were implicated in wrongdoing. To put this another way, imagine calling 911 in Compton and having a 40% chance that a gang member in uniform shows up to the scene. Wouldn't that make you
That's nuts. That's crazy statistic. 40% chance you'll have a corrupt cop showing up at your doorstep if you live in LA. A 40% chance of a corrupt cop. That's mind-blowing fucked up.
Jacob Hamel, Sebastian Pomba, Vincent Rodriguez.
If that's true, that's fucked up.
You guys get in trouble for this.
Not that I'm aware of.
Oh, right.
Not that I'm aware of. They all played the victim. In the police reports, they paint a narrative as if my son was Rocky Balboa. And it's
Isn't
not
it?
Like Tyson. You know, every deputy claims that he beat up each deputy. Each deputy says they were beaten. One said he believed he screamed, "I believe my hand is broken."
How do you think he broke his hand if he did?
Probably from the 20 to 30 punches he gave my son to his head.
Where is your son today?
My son right now is incarcerated. Put a PC-69 when you are charged, when the cops charge you for beating them up.
Oh, so he got charged for
Yeah,
this?
he got charged for that.
Not only did he get a beating, but he actually got charged with the crime of beating them.
He got sentenced to prison. They ended up giving him the county time. He did his 2 years county time, but he was sentenced to 3 years in state prison.
So he got the shit kicked out of him and then got sent to prison for it. Do you think anyone will ever be held responsible for this?
I hope so.
I hope so. Yeah, me too. Me too.
Cops are dealing with very violent street gangs. You kind of have to recruit monsters to fight.
Corruption is the law there. Yeah.
And I think,
Yeah.
especially, like I said,
So please, share the stream, and I hope people really look at the context that I'm showing more so than me. But
about
yeah,
following the Constitution and doing the right thing and not becoming a monster. And I also think if you do want to restore that community trust between
and
law
Flint,
enforcement and
I know corruption in Flint
you
too.
have
I
to get
know.
away from this idea of violence is tolerated, and
I've heard lots of stories.
meet the criminals halfway.
Personally know someone that knows
never
of
gonna
crap.
work.
No, I'm not going to get into it though. I'm not getting into it.
People say, to be a police officer is to protect and serve. And when you have these
What I know
gangs,
of was a while ago.
they're kind of violating their initial oath. What do you think about that?
It's kind of a tough question to really answer, but I will say it does essentially if they made it that way. Having a tattoo and being part of a group of fellas that if you're just proud to be a deputy sheriff, and I work.
Mind-blowing cops aren't all good. Where does in Iraq every city has a corrupt secret? Just something. True, Travis. True.
We're just trying to be the best cops we can. Great, so be it. But once they start taking off and doing thuggery, that's when their oath has been, offended.
When you were in, what percent of the sheriffs would you say questionable on the bad side?
Let's say there's 100 deputies. I'd say 25 of them are assholes.
That's a pretty big number.
That's a pretty big number.
And those 25 can rack up a lot of...
A lot, man.
And the other 75 suffer greatly.
Yes, because we get the brunt of going out on a call and being called assholes and being disrespected.
Do you have any reason to believe that this behavior, this gang behavior within the sheriff's department persists even today?
I can see that.
Two other sheriffs that we had before, I think it's hard to say what the actual sheriffs were doing. The deputy sheriffs we know from the whistleblower what they were doing. What the sheriffs were doing, they were doing nothing to stop it as far as we could tell.
I don't give the number, sorry, but follow me on Instagram. Same name as the YouTube channel.
I think a much more proactive approach to this, and I think there has been a change in culture in the LA Sheriff's Department because of it.
It does seem like things are changing for the better.
I think so.
Some people wonder if these sheriff gangs are still happening today, and it depends on who you ask. Some say that the current sheriff, Robert J. Luna, is taking strong action to snuff out LASD gang activity, and that may be so. But just in the news this month, a crazy story broke.
Just into the newsroom here at 6, shocking allegations against a former police officer now accused of kidnap for ransom.
The short of the story is that a group of LA cops were hired by these sort of crypto warlord characters to kidnap and forcibly rob rivals for sizable crypto thefts. To me, if officers
Crypto warlords, okay.
Teenagers to steal from them, I suspect that the citizens of Los Angeles still harbor a bit of fear that the sheriff gangs are currently in action. The fact is, the cops that participated in these gangs to beat, rob, plant evidence, and murder the citizens that they were sworn to protect are clear-cut criminals, and unfortunately, most of these guys will never be held accountable. And if this is anyone's guess, but are there bad sheriffs out there? Are they 1% of the force, 10% of the force? It's hard to say, but it does leave an ugly taste in our mouth when the people that enforce the law on us are not held to the same criteria that we are. You
Real talk.
The truth is, you see this double standard a lot with law enforcement. I mean, look at who goes to arrest workers at Amazon or Starbucks when they have their union protest. It's the cops who have the strongest union structure in the country. And don't get me wrong, I am a big fan of good police officers, and I think we need these guys urgently more than ever in our society.
For sure.
I believe in the old Spider-Man movie quote, that with great power comes great
responsibility.
So folks,
Yeah.
I hope we've given you something to think about in this episode, and I want to give a special thanks to Andrew Callahan and his team for helping plant the seed of the idea for this topic to cover. I love you guys. See you next week.
Great video, Tommy G. You'll never see this, but whatever. Good video. Definitely a good video. That's a perfect video, really. Like, not. I know what y'all think of this. Said that. No, not to be like that about it, but to be like that about it. That was a pretty good video. And the next one is more. It's way more boring than that. I could like go down a list and like I'll come up with a new list maybe. This stream didn't go too bad. Almost made $20. $20 for doing a reaction is just like that's pretty good for especially for me. I'll take it. Whatever. Appreciate y'all. The next one is definitely boring, but whatever. I've kind of lost the momentum anyway. I had more people tuned in earlier. I'm just going just to go. All right. So this is a press briefing with Caroline. I think that's her name. Press. I hate doing this on the TV. It sucks. It's so much slower, but that's okay. Oh, there it is. All right.
Good afternoon. Good to see all of you. I want to begin today's briefing by addressing the horrific shooting that took place yesterday at the Annunciation Catholic Church in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where a deranged shooter opened fire during morning mass, killing an innocent 8-year-old and 10-year-old. 14 other children and 3 adults were also injured during this horrible tragedy. This was the first morning mass of the school year for these beautiful, innocent children, and this sacred religious service was desecrated by an evil monster. We are all eternally grateful to the heroic law enforcement officers and first responders whose courage and swift response aided all of those impacted by this horrible tragedy. As Director Kash Patel confirmed yesterday, the FBI is currently investigating this shooting as an act of domestic terrorism and a hate crime targeting Catholics.
I didn't bring a pen or paper. What we're gonna say? Tasting with Fox News Monday. You're funny.
Acknowledging the victims and their families and directing flags to be flown at half-mast. President Trump and the First Lady encouraged the entire nation to join all of us in praying for the victims and their families as they face unimaginable.
Says Mike, you're religious. What do you think about the kids dying in God's house? I have no idea what you mean. Please clarify.
Grief and loss. The White House and the FBI will continue to provide further updates as they become available. I also have a quick scheduling announcement for you today. The President will travel to New York City on September 22nd to address the United Nations General Assembly on Tuesday, September 23rd. On another matter, as Americans make their Labor Day weekend travel plans, they will be able to enjoy 5-year low gas prices thanks to President Trump fully unleashing American energy dominance. President Trump ended Joe Biden's Green New Scam policies and is delivering on his promise to make America affordable again. These savings at the pump are giving everyday American families.
Now people are gonna start getting mad, right?
Each month, which is the exact opposite of what we saw under the previous administration. And as we commemorate Labor Day,
Caroline Levitt. I don't know what her name is.
And delivers for the American worker every single day. President Trump believes that American workers are the heart and soul of our economy and our national identity, which is why he's championed an agenda that puts them first always. For decades,
Caroline
the hardworking men and women of our country who built the greatest nation in world history were sold out by selfish, greedy, short-sighted globalists who put our country on a path to economic and cultural ruin. They hollowed out our factories and towns and betrayed the American working class by shipping jobs overseas and importing millions of low-wage migrants to replace American workers. Under President Trump, this national disgrace is over. American workers are, once again, being put at the center of national trade policy, and the dignity of American labor is being defended. As a result,
Pop quiz tomorrow. For real though.
$10 trillion in new private and foreign investments.
10
so
trillion?
That the top businesses in the world can create high-paying jobs in America and hire American workers to fill them. In fact, since President Trump took office, the economy has added more than 500,000 new jobs to the workforce. In a stark reversal from the Biden administration, all of that job creation has been driven by private sector growth, and all employment gains have gone to native-born Americans. Wages for blue-collar workers are now rising at the fastest rate in the past 60 years. And the average American worker has already seen a $500 wage increase this year alone.
Not me, I haven't been working.
Middle tax cuts ever signed into law by
Terrible.
President Trump, with no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security. Americans in all 50 states will keep more of their hard-earned money. The average American taxpayer will see a tax cut of nearly $4,000 because of these pro-growth provisions, according to analysis from the Nonpartisan Tax Foundation. In other news, President Trump continues to deliver on his promise to restore law and order to our nation's capital. Since President Trump's intervention, there have been more than 1,283 arrests right here in the District of Columbia. Total crime in DC is down 19%, and violent crime is down 30%. Carjackings in the took additional action to sign an executive order taking steps to ensure that cashless bail in Washington, D.C. is eliminated.
Hey, Michael, just watching your other live. It was said subscribe if you don't like me, Christina, being together because you're staying with her. Is getting on my nerves. Thank you, Anne Marie, too. Thank you so much.
Has also foolishly forced law enforcement to repeatedly arrest.
Shout out Anne Marie. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Over again, only for them to be released back into our nation's capital. This is the definition of insanity, and the president is seeking to end it. He also signed a separate executive order addressing the crime emergency in D.C. by instructing the National Park Service to hire additional United States Park Police officers to support public safety, and directing the U.S. Attorney's Office for D.C. to hire additional prosecutors to focus solely on violent and property crimes. So while liberal Democrats across the country continue to double down on their
I should have wrote more of a list.
the American people, including local DC leadership.
I'll just say it like this. She's just so about herself. She didn't even ask. She just dropped information on me and hung the fuck up. That's not exactly how it went, but it's pretty close to how that went. That's why, yeah, but I didn't tell you this. No, I don't even care what I was gonna tell you this. And then she hangs up like that. That's how I like picture like how she was talking. She's talking with so much energy. Like that's how I picture what she was doing. Like I don't know what the motor mouth. She got motor mouth right now. She hyped me up. That's where this is coming from. She just hyped me up. She just like dropped a whole fucking script on me. All right, love you, bye. I'm like, well, what the fuck? Couldn't even get out that I was streaming. Couldn't even get that out. Like for real. Yeah. For real though, y'all. Who? I can't say who yet. Can't say who yet. I'm sorry. It's just like, it's a mutual agreement. But we do have a surprise collaboration still in the works. Actually, I should have been working on it right now, but I wanted to do this. I just wanted to do this for some reason. And so I got this out of the way. And there's so many more videos and channels that I want to show you guys. And but that'll just maybe come in time later. But I appreciate you guys for tuning in to all that. Thank you for the 41 likes. I'm gonna go find my vape real quick, and I need a hit. Really surprised that I got y'all in here. I was telling Nene, I was texting Nene like, yo, I just don't got the charisma for this. I was just like, I didn't say that exactly, but I was just paraphrasing, I was just like, I don't care for this live streaming no more, losing heart for it. And then look at me now. Look at me now. I think, I don't know what that was. Satan's gotta stop getting to me. Appreciate you, Nene. Appreciate everyone hyping me up. John Smith, I really appreciate you, John Smith. Realic, Ayan, man. Thank you, Ayan. I haven't seen you in a while, but I do see you. You chiming in. You keep liking every Instagram post. I appreciate you, buddy. Thank you, man. There's always people that I mean to give more shout outs to that I never make it. Like Luke War, thank you, buddy. You're another one. I don't know. Dan, you watching, bro? Chris, appreciate you. Anyone else that's maybe watching? Robbie, Andy, I don't know. Matt, the other Matt, I don't know. I have no idea. Now I'm just doing randoms. Henry, thank you. Thank you for the 42 likes. Thank you, everyone. Auntie K, appreciate you guys. I don't know, y'all. Coming up to a 3-hour stream. Almost 2.5 hours in. Haven't had anything to eat today. Just had coffee. I'm not really hungry. I feel good. I only got 15 people in here right now. Chat. That's how boring Michael is. I had more people tuned in when I was reacting to what was going on. Okay, so I guess that's the next thing for me to do is just cue the world in with what they may be missing. I say the world. Look how I talk. So big for my small self. What's your favorite flavor in the vapes? I can't stop with strawberry banana. Pineapple. Anything pineapple, typically. What were you watching in the news? We can get back to that if you want. Yeah, hell yeah, we can get back to that. Decided to take a hit off my vape.
kind of went off the pen, but I'm gonna just drink coffee and try to lay off smoking so much. I'm trying to keep the indica for like maybe nighttime, you know, when I'm laying down in bed before I'm about to pass out, smoked in. But I'm trying to lay off smoking throughout the day so much. I'm trying to use it for nighttime relaxation, you know, medicinal. So I'm gonna have another cup of coffee. So I feel like I need something. This is me trying to show you guys that I can be better with money, okay? If I wasn't trying, I would just hit the weed and not worry about the coffee. But you know, coffee and weed goes together anyway. It's like the best way to wake and bake. Looks like the kitchen could be dressed a little. Oh, for sure, for sure. Yeah, Michael don't feel like doing that. I've been doing my dishes, like everything that I personally dirty up, I clean, and I've been doing that, and it just kind of went the other way because other people weren't doing that, and I'm like, I don't want to clean that up. I have done the dishes quite a bit, and I always do it off camera. I never stream do the dishes because nobody wants to see that. Who wants to watch someone do dishes, bro? So I've done the dishes quite a bit. I just never stream it. No, that's obviously why would you stream that? Anyway, get back to the news. Oh,
Actions
I just subscribed to it. Oh well.
To reduce crime in these cities. Indu Bhatia, who runs a liquor store a half mile from the White House here just down the street, is one of those Americans who are grateful for President Trump's public safety push. Indu recently told the New York Post that her store was robbed so many times that they had to spend exorbitant sums of money on security, jeopardizing her family's financial future.
That's not right.
President Trump's strong action, Indu said, quote, "All of my employees, including me, we feel much safer, and even our customers feel really happy when they walk into our store." And just yesterday, Washington, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser credited President Trump for surging federal law enforcement personnel and said neighborhoods, quote, "feel and are much safer."
That's
We
good.
thank Mayor Bowser for her cooperation and her willingness to help us make D.C. safer.
Is that bullshit? Political bullshit? Hyping each other up? Or is it real?
And law and order advocates have been
I don't
saying
know.
for years.
Not there.
And this is our message to Americans in Democrat-run cities nationwide. Decline is a choice. You don't have to live in constant fear of being robbed, raped, or murdered. Your leaders are lying to you, and they have been failing you for decades. The President Trump approach of upholding law and order by letting our brave men and women in blue actually do their jobs to aggressively fight crime works. In just a few weeks, President Trump has done more for DC residents than Democrats did in 50 years. And this can be replicated in other crime-ridden cities across the nation.
It gives me anxiety really bad, and it does it for a lot of people. I hear you.
What charge have to do is pick up the phone and ask for the president and the federal government's help. President Trump doesn't care if they are a Republican or a Democrat leader. He wants Americans to be safe.
Overall, I don't know what everyone's opinion is on Trump. I believe he's a good president. I don't agree with everything he does, but overall, I'm on his side. I think he's a good president.
Brandon, thank you so much for joining us today. Why don't you kick us off?
Caroline, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. And on behalf of everybody that follow me, the millions of people that follow me, I want to say thank you for making the sacrifice and dealing with some of the most disingenuous people on planet Earth at times. I have two questions. The first question is associated with the shooting that occurred the other day. And
Hey, maybe I was raised different. A lot of us feel we all raised different.
We know it's a mental health issue. So I want to know from you, what is President Trump and the White House going to do to address mental health issues around the country associated with these shootings? And the second thing is Chicago. You know, anybody with, and I say, with a connected brainstem.
They got the National Guard in Chicago right now, if you don't know. The National Guard right now is in Chicago, trying to clean it up.
Every single day in Chicago. No president has addressed any of these issues And so what is the White House going to do to address issues?
You think you're going to be in 15? I don't know, chicken.
Deal with the conflict and violence in Chicago?
Sure. Well, to your first question about this shooting in Minnesota, right now, the administration is focused on helping the people of Minnesota. It's been less than a day, of course, since this tragedy happened. We have federal law enforcement on the ground assisting local law enforcement. This investigation is ongoing. There's still a lot of facts to understand about these circumstances. And so
Sure,
we're
there
gonna
are.
continue to do that.
There's
As for
always lots of
Chicago and
facts.
cracking down on crime, it is a priority of this administration to ensure that American cities are safe again. And I'm so glad that you brought up the crime in Chicago, because we've been seeing the governor of Illinois parading out there saying that there's nothing wrong with Chicago. It's a great place to live. There's no crime there. He doesn't need President Trump's help. Well, I think the residents of Chicago beg to differ, and the
I agree.
statistics beg to differ. And I'll just share
100%.
a few of those statistics with all of you. For 13 consecutive years, Chicago has had the most murders of any U.S. city. This is J.B. Pritzker's legacy, by the way. For 7 consecutive years, Chicago has had the highest murder rate among U.S. cities.
For 7 years in a row, Chicago has had the highest murder rate. That's crazy. I didn't know
With
that.
more than 1 million people. In 2024, just last year, Chicago's murder rate per capita was 3 times higher than Los Angeles and nearly 5 times higher than New York City.
Damn,
More than double
Chicago.
the murder rate
Damn.
of Islamabad and nearly 15 times more than Delhi. Out of Chicago's 147,899 reported crimes this year, that's how many crimes have been reported in Chicago since January 1st. There have only been arrests in 16% of them. These numbers are unacceptable. There have been more illegal guns recovered in Chicago than in New York City and Los Angeles combined. The number of reported motor vehicle thefts last year was more than double the number in 2021. And Chicago has also, just like DC, come under scrutiny over discrepancies in its homicide data reporting.
There is some National Guard in Chicago. I've seen the videos.
They are even worse. And this is
Check out Cash Jordan on YouTube.
put politics aside.
If you want to see the National Guard on YouTube, go check out. I've seen it on Cash Jordan. Cash Jordan on YouTube. Go check him out.
President who would be more than happy to do right by law-abiding American residents in the city of Chicago, and we hope that he will. Gabe, and thanks for being here, Brandon. Skater.
Thank you so much. First on the fire and CDC director first.
Sure.
We replaced her, and then also overnight the White House said that she cannot align with the president's agenda. Dr. Bernard's attorney say that she refused to rubber stamp unscientific.
I helped clean my family's house, especially when I was younger, contributing to rent and stuff. Chicken, I've done all that before, and you don't.
Made it abundantly clear themselves
So,
that she was not aligned.
chicken, if you want transparency, they've said that they don't want the money. They want me to save up the money to get to my own place. So yes, that was offered but denied. They want me to just get my own damn place, chicken. So keep that in mind, buddy. And I do clean, and I know you're so anal about the cleaning right now. Hey, buddy, I'm trying to, I've made some donations, just trying to react to the news. This is about that right now, buddy. Trying to be humble and talk to you, but if any more response about anything other than what we're broadcasting right now, I'm simply going to ignore it. So click.
The president's mission to make America healthy again. And the secretary asked her to resign. She said she would, and then she said she wouldn't, so the president fired her, which he has every right to do. It was President Trump who was overwhelmingly reelected on November 5th. This woman has never received a vote in her life, and the president has the authority to fire those who are not aligned with his mission. A new replacement will be announced by either the president or the secretary very soon. And the president and Secretary Kennedy are committed to restoring trust and transparency and credibility.
Oh, Michael laid down the law. Yeah, thank you, Nay. Thank you.
Decisions are more public-facing, more accountable, strengthening our public health system, and restoring it to its core mission of protecting Americans from communicable diseases, investing in innovation to prevent, detect, and respond to future threats. That's the mission of the CDC, and we're going to make sure that folks that are in positions of leadership there are aligned with that mission.
Briefly on another topic, Alexander Alcatraz, last week, a judge on an environmental concerns lawsuit said that
Environmental
the administration is 60 days to wind down operations that our state officials did. Now, the administration has not been shy fighting back against what it calls activist judges, but why is it backing down this?
we're not backing down. We've always said that we are going to continue to fight in the court of law for what's right, because we know that what this administration is doing with respect to all policy, but also immigration policy, is on the books, and we're abiding
I'm
by
getting bored of this.
immigration laws. And we think it's despicable that an activist judge has inserted themselves in this migrant detention facility to the point where DHS is now having to relocate these illegal immigrants to other detention facilities around the country. That is an unnecessary burden on the Department of Homeland Security and these agents who should be removing these criminals from our community. That's what the American people elected this president to do. So we've always maintained we're going to comply with court orders, but we're also going to fight back on them on the merits of the law. And DHS is in compliance while we disagree with this decision, and we'll continue to fight it in court. Let's go to. Go ahead.
Thanks so much. So just following up on the CDC firing, are you anticipating other changes there at CDC in addition to that firing? And is the administration going through in a very sort of organized fashion? Is there a task force?
I gotta get my coffee.
High-level appointees to see who is in the line?
Coffee getting cold.
Not to my knowledge, I understand there were a few other individuals who resigned after the fire.
You guys, there's so much corruption and there's so much all the time going on. Should I keep doing these streams though, showing what's going on, or should we just not do this? Let me know, chat. How do we feel about how this stream has gone in general? How do we feel about it? Asked him to help with the pool one day, and he said no, and let her swim in dirty ass water. What an uncle he is, right? Travis, wow. You remember that day? I remember people getting mad at you that day, Travis. I remember that. But you're not gonna talk about that, are you? I remember her. She was like, "Hey, we know we got it going." You know, like for anybody that goes and checks that video out, be my guest.
Maduro is not a legitimate president. He is a fugitive head of this.
What they say then? That's funny. You remember that, but you don't remember none of the backlash you got. That's interesting. They said that she's taken care of with a good family. You don't remember that? Difficult, or you get jitters. I already got some jitters.
What's the White House's response to their comments? Yes, I saw the comments of my predecessor, Ms. Saki, and frankly, I think they're incredibly insensitive and disrespectful to the tens of millions of Americans of faith across this country who believe in the power of prayer.
Amen.
Who believe that
Amen.
And who believe that in a time of mourning like this, when beautiful
I do believe
were killed while praying in a church,
in the power of prayer.
Disrespectful to deride the power of prayer in this country, and it's disrespectful to the millions of Americans of faith. And I would encourage Ms. Saki to pray for these families themselves who need it right now more than ever.
I love this time in our country where we advertise and publicize God.
All of the elements are being
Now more than like ever, I feel like.
Which is why
it wasn't like this when Biden was in office. Now it's God every day on TV. You hear God every day on TV. I love it.
Two questions on two separate issues. First of all, the drone and missile strikes that took place overnight in Ukraine. General Keith Kellogg, the president's special envoy, has described these attacks as egregious. Do you agree with that description, and do you view President Putin as an impediment
So confused.
to peace between these two countries?
Well, it's not about if I agree.
Talk like the news is on. Yes, I'm going to church, Nene.
About this news, but he was also not surprised. These are two countries that have been at war for a very long time. Russia launched this attack on Kyiv, and likewise, Ukraine recently dealt a blow to Russia's oil refineries. They have taken out, as a matter of fact, 20% of Russia's oil refinery capacity over the course of their attacks throughout the month of August. So the president is continuing to watch this intently, and this killing, unfortunately, will continue as long as the war continues, which is why the president wants it to end. And that's why he's worked harder than anyone to end this war, which would have never started if he were president, but perhaps
Why
both
my eyes
sides
like that? I
of
don't
this
know.
war are not ready to end it themselves. The president wants it to end, but the leaders of these two countries need it to end, want it to end, must want it to end as well. And I think the president will make some additional statements on this later.
My second question has to do with, I just had one more, if I may. It has to do with the president's intention to remove Lisa Cook as a member of the Federal Reserve Board. He is going, or acting.
I don't know who that guy is.
Allegations that have been made by Trump administration official Bill Pulte. These are just allegations. She hasn't been convicted yet of any crime. Is the administration opposed to allowing Ms. Cook to have due process to challenge what has been alleged against her?
I believe she is challenging it. I believe she just filed a lawsuit today, and Mr. Pulte has deferred those allegations over to the Department of Justice to investigate them.
Down syndrome? A lot of people say that. I'm just listening. I'm listening.
Very clearly shown to the president.
I don't know the story they're talking about specifically, so I'm just listening.
He laid it out in the letter that he provided to her.
Of how Mike, just people mad at me because I remember chat downgrading. Yeah. No, I'm not, Travis. No one's mad at you. I said that day some people got a little.
They too want to have a convention right before the midterms as well.
I'm trying to listen.
What's the White House's response to that? Maybe give us a little bit of a hint or tease here as to how the president envisions convention.
Look, the president put out a statement on this earlier today. I'll let him speak further on the plans that he envisions, but I think he's very proud of the accomplishments and the achievements of his administration, as he should be. The most secure border in United States history, a crackdown on crime here in our nation's capital, an attack or a reversal of the attack on our energy industry from the previous administration. As I just pointed out to you, gas prices today, this Labor Day, are the lowest they've been since Labor Day in 2020. Our economy is bringing in trillions of dollars in revenue from all over the world again. So there's so much for Republicans and for the president and for Americans across the country to be proud of, and I think the president wants to see that celebrated. But for any further details on this as they come, we'll provide you with them. Iris.
If we're making so much money, how about another stimulus check?
Who might be now worried about their kids' safety, like the latest incident.
We completely and totally understand the concerns of parents across the country. This tragedy it's heartbreaking. As a parent myself, there are no words to describe just the heartbreak that these families must be enduring, which is why the president and the first lady have encouraged everyone
Anyway,
to continue to pray for these families.
look at that. Pray, pray, pray.
This administration is focused on
That's 7 people. Peace out, y'all. That's
last night in Washington,
whole live stream. I don't have anything else on my list. I should have. I didn't realize I was gonna have people like tuned in this long. I'm gonna turn that off though. But thank you everyone for tuning in. Appreciate y'all. I'm completely informed. No, not quite. I should have made a bigger list. There's a lot of different topics, but that's okay. We'll just get on it later, maybe. We're at 32% battery, 32%. So at least you guys somewhat can kind of see what I watch, the things that I'm interested in, all the boring political shit. That's honestly what I'm entertained by. Later, you bum. Peace out, chicken. Shit, that's good for you. I know, Henry. Yeah. Even made a little bit over super chat today. That's cool. Appreciate that, y'all. $19.26. Appreciate it. Put the news back on. I could throw up random videos if y'all want. Want me to throw up random videos? All right, let's go. We're gonna react to some random videos right now. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna look up funny videos because I think we all could use a laugh, right? Raw funny videos. What the hell is the if? You and funny. There we go. This is gonna be stupid, huh? Let's go. How's that funny? Fake. That's fake. Ooh. Damn. Oh.
First time trying Dairy Queen, better not be a prank.
His first time trying Dairy Queen. Look at us! Oh! God bless. Such a good. Thank you. He let the trash bag just take him down. Oh, wow. Wow. Damn, bro. Talk about embrace the enemy. Oh, how does that even happen? How does that even happen? Am I even giving you guys a good POV?
Lumify effect. One drop dramatically reduces redness.
Oh,
For
ads,
one-
pesky ads. You guys watch the reaction videos? This isn't the news. I know it's not the news. You gotta switch it up. You gotta switch it up.
Yo, ain't no way. Garage, yeah, God away. Grady, what the?
Some of these aren't even funny though. What? What? He just got trolled. Oh my god. That's funny as shit. Oh, the gas is going. It's still.
Yo.
What? Damn. Slick, bro. Slick.
Here's a tip. Don't ever ride the drag strip this time at night
front row because this will happen to you. Full of bugs all over me.
Welcome to Andy's Sub Shop, or as we like to call it.
That's funny. What? 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 What the fuck? What do people do out there, bro? Oh, oh, what? He's knocked out, bro. He's out. He doesn't know what's going on right now. He doesn't even know what's going on.
You trying to go in, man? You been asleep at the light, bro.
Please remember to like the stream. Consider subscribing, but please like the stream.
This is just the East Pittsburgh. The next stop.
Nice.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh my God.
What do you mean you're sorry?
That's my car here.
He thought it was his car. Oh my God, what the fuck? Sorry for all the. I'm gonna try to cut the language back. I apologize.
Make it count.
He just hit himself with the golf ball.
Now, tell me why the post office. Like, just leave it on my door at this point. I tried cutting it with a knife, like got the candle out, and that's all that matters. So, I might just leave it like that and show them.
What? I was trippy watching that through the camera. Mike, you can relate to all those videos, right? That's what I'm saying. Relate. That's what I'm saying. Oh, that's not gonna go good. Yeah. No. She said, "Leave me alone. I'm hurt." Okay.
Oh my God.
A boat crash? A boat crash. Oh. Woo! It crashed. Boat crash. Oh, damn, that hood just came up. Wow. It just hit him in the face. You see that? He just whipped the ball in the water, bounced back, hit him in the face. That sucks. Thank you for the 45 likes. Thank you so much. Please like and subscribe. Damn. Of course, of course.
I don't know what to do!
Oh!
Dude!
Damn! Better grab a bucket, bro. Ooh. Why is he going sideways, bro? What? He's trying to like flip himself. Bro, you're making it so much harder on yourself right now. What the? You guys said what? Oh, too late, man.
Sabe, meu? Vem cá. Vem, ó, tá em cima do menino. O que você tá arrumando aí, cara?
Alright. I'm done with this reaction videos. I think I'm gonna tune out, let my phone charge, and I'm just gonna drown myself out with other content, y'all. My phone's got to charge anyway, but y'all know now I ain't do nothing but surfing too. Actually, I recently seen like YouTube added this feature to where like you can get in the comments of other creators and you can vote to hype their channel up. So I've been recently started doing that. All right, y'all. Guess we'll tune out. You guys have a good day. Appreciate all the love and all the hate too. All the trolls, appreciate you too. I see you in here. Nothing, mostly trolls right now. Mostly trolls. Appreciate y'all. Whatever. As long as you keep tuning in, I'll keep going. Yep. Christina Amanda. Yes. Good job. I don't know what you guys like want from me. All right. You know what? Here you go, bud. Anybody else want to just come with weird energy? It's me right now. Why are we talking about someone's not here? Just be real and authentic. You want me to be transparent and you won't even stop trolling. So that's why things are switching up. Because you guys want me to be honest and transparent, but then you're going to troll me. So I'm not going to give honest and transparency for the trolls. Okay? If you're going to be trolling me, I'm going to start trolling them back through the channel. Just letting y'all know. The more real and authentic you are with me, the more real and authentic I will be with you. But if you're just gonna troll me, I'm just gonna troll back. Why would I be honest with and just for trolls to troll? That doesn't make sense. Anybody else? Batter up. Anybody else? Do some streets, put some money in the books. All right, y'all. I'm gonna ignore every other comment that's not related to what I want to answer to. Because I gotta direct this conversation. It's not about Christina right now. If you want to keep it on there, I'm gonna start timing you out. Every other comment that's about Christina is gonna get timed out right now because you're not supporting what I'm trying to do.
the audience, you're keeping me restricted to a Christina and I audience. I'm trying to branch out. I'm trying to get into other niche, and you're being relentlessly stubborn and you're not allowing me to switch up the conversation. So I'm gonna have to start reading y'all out so I can branch into new audiences. Please grow with me. Please grow. Don't get weeded out. Please grow with me and don't get weeded out. Bro, we like you. Just trying to find out something that works. This is about you. You know, sometimes I want it to be more than about me, bro. More than just little old Mike. She's a part of the drama. It's how we can be. Yeah, well, all right. This isn't about, like, I should tell like news only stream. You know what I mean? Just because you guys want it to be doesn't mean I want it to be about that. Why is it? You know what I mean? You know. Anyway. Sometimes you just that's gonna go mute. Maybe I should just put the news back on. You're right, buddy. Maybe I should just do that. Shut the hell up and just put on what I want to talk about, because I don't want to talk about Christina and I right now. Really, I don't even have enough battery to keep this going anyway. I got to tune out. Got to charge the phone. So I'm just going to tune out anyway, charge the phone. Appreciate everyone tuning in, though. You guys have a good day. And I don't know if I'll be on later or not. I really don't know. Social services are taking that kid straight away. There's always going to be people threatening shit. So, Brax River Boys. I acknowledge your presence and your energy. Is your Jeep a ZJ or it's a wagon? It's a wagon. Yeah, Jeep Cherokee. I'm not worried about the Jeep. I cannot afford the Jeep right now anyway. There's nothing I can do about the Jeep until I start working, and that's that. So that's why I'm just kind of doing these, reacting to what's going on around in different categories. But now the phone's dying, so now I'm just kind of chit-chatting with the chat. So I don't ask anything you ask. Okay. Try. I have answered some questions. No, we're not having a kid. I am hungry, though. I am hungry. I just had 2 cups of coffee and nothing really to eat yet. I had a little bowl of cereal, but I see you real like I'm just not answering. It's too silly of a question. Do not. Compare it to the. Okay. Okay, now, Brad. Okay. Appreciate the 45 likes. All right, y'all. We're going to tune out. I'm going to charge the phone. Have a good day. God bless. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Each and every single one of you. Real lick, you are not Brad. Maha, Corbin, come blows us. Ohio, 614. Joe. Brax River Boys. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. What's my favorite candy bar? Probably Reese's Sticks right now. I like the Reese's Sticks. What about you, Joe? Yes, it is 4-wheel drive. 4-wheel drive does work, yeah. All right, we're going up to 3-hour stream. I've been streaming for 3 hours, y'all. 3 hours. We're here with you. If you keep doing this we weed out the people you want to, and you will have the true community stay. Columbus, Ohio 614. I agree with you 100%. I'll buy it for $150. Nick, no, thanks, bud. No, thanks. All right, y'all. You guys have a good day. Thank you again for tuning in. I'm going to charge the phone. Have a good one. 155 final offer? No, definitely not. Thanks anyway, though. 3 hours, 3 new subs. Yeah. Peace out. Be on later. Sometime. Don't know when. Hit all notifications. See y'all later. Thank you. Thank you so much.